Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another unofficial H3 waiting room. I know the real fans are in here. Um, Today we got quite a bit to talk about, another video from Ethan to look at, but first, I want to respond to something, and I'm glad you're in here, Bizu, because I want to talk about why you're kind of a fucking idiot. If they wanted to show... So, you want to come in here, talk some shit for some reason, come back to my stream. Are you just kicked out of everybody else's stream? Is that why you're here? Because you're going to get kicked out of mine. But I'm going to give you the chance to try and defend yourself because you're just, it's dumb. So let's start. Let's start. Did my new comment go up yet? Here, let's see. Why isn't it loaded on here? If they wanted to show... Oh, there we go. Oh, it's still not showing up. Okay, well, I'll show it in a second. But okay, so here's you mischaracterizing my clip. So let's watch this first. Let's read what you said and we'll watch it. If I wanted to do some apartheid propaganda and whitewash the conditions of an ethno-state, that's my right. Yep, you're perfectly legally capable. I think you're running apologia for fascism and Lebensraum happening in Gaza from a Jewish ethno-state that's trying to cleanse it. Good job using just a bunch of buzzwords and spelling fascism wrong. I swear, you're like the third person in my comment section to misspell fascism. It's actually so funny. But here's what I actually said. Let's see. Cape Town, and that's up to them. Cape Town's South Africa, right? Cape Town? Yes. The only thing I know about South Africa is Cape Town. You also clipped a stupid point. That's the wrong timestamp, but good job. The point I was making, where is it? You're actually just the dumbest person. And yeah, like, I mean, South Africa isn't like free of like the issues that came from apartheid. And if people wanted to show the country, just, you know, if they wanted to show Cape Town, then... So here are the words I said. Do you understand? You're saying because I was saying that he's going to Israel because people act like Israel is just an evil place, that you just conflated the two. And yeah, like, I mean, South Africa isn't free and isn't like free of the issues that came from apartheid. And if people wanted to go to the country and, you know, if they wanted to show Cape Town or show other good things from the country, that wouldn't necessarily be wrong. That's the point I'm making. And you wanted to make it something that it's okay to do apartheid propaganda. So my response was, the presumption that a country's population all believe the government's aims is entirely xenophobic. It is. To think that a country, everybody in that country believes the same thing is xenophobic. And I don't understand how you guys don't get this. There are Israeli citizens who oppose the Israeli government, and assuming that they are all Zionist baby murderers is a part of the problem. This would be like saying Germany should have dissolved after World War II instead of dismantling the regime that caused so much destruction. Nobody wants to humanize a war or the actions taken therein. But to say someone couldn't, or for another example, show the thriving Russian culture because of the destruction that they are causing in Ukraine would just be offensive to those who oppose the campaign, would not just be offensive to those who oppose the campaign, but ignorant to the internal struggle of their population. You throw around words like fascism and Libras, I don't even know how to say this, Lebensraum, when you cannot articulate your argument. How am I using apologia for fascism and Lebensraum other than just because you think? Also, how do so many people, how do so many of you hate watchers that come into my comments misspell fascism while speaking so knowledgeably about it? And all you could say is, how am I doing apologia for fascism? Do you think the ethno-state should exist? So this isn't what you said at first. I'm glad you changed it, but good job. Oh, here it is. Here's your original reply. Yeah, dipshit, and Ethan has blatantly said people not engaging in the military support. So yeah, try and delete your fucking comments, you dumbass. You fucking piece of shit. Yeah, where are the clips? Because you misquoted me. Yeah, I'm gonna just kick you out now because you're actually just annoying as fuck. Hide user from channel. User's messages will be hidden. I'll just let you. I'll leave you here. You can hang out here as long as you want. But I'm gonna not let you not let you post messages because you're just a fucking dumbass and you lie. Yeah, dipshit. And Ethan has blatantly said people not engaging in the military support of that country are selfish and that it's a good and necessary thing to have forced military. Going to film a fluff piece is fucked, and you trying to cap for that is equally fucked. A military is necessary no matter what country you reside in. The issue is what the military does, and from what I've seen, he opposes the conditions of the current military occupation, and unless you can provide clips of him saying these things specifically, I'm going to assume you are lying because you literally misquoted and mischaracterized what I said. You can disagree with me, that isn't the problem, but why must you obfuscate my argument rather than critiquing it for what it is? It is why people label your side of the fence disingenuous. And then they wanted to delete their comment, and that's what deleted my comment. So they deleted their comment so they could just put, how am I doing apologia for fascism? Do you think the ethno-state should exist? First of all, it's not an ethno-state. There are Arabs that live and have political office in... If you want to say it's apartheid, you can maybe argue that they don't have the same rights or whatever. I don't know all the logistics, but they literally hold political office. It is not an ethno-state. And beyond that, I don't think it should exist in the way that it currently exists. And I've said that not just in this stream, I've said that in my previous stream that you were in. So that's just stupid too. It's ridiculous that you want to come in and act like this, that you want to come in and fucking lie and act and like, what was the point of putting this comment up? Was it really to just try and like make me out as like a bad person before anybody can watch it? You sat through this entire stream and decided to come back 7 hours ago this morning at like when it would have been 3 a.m. for me. You decided to come back this morning to leave a comment because it was getting more views or what? It's weird. I don't even care. I left you so you can't leave comments. I actually don't care anymore. But yeah, so that was just the most ridiculous thing I've seen. It's so dumb. They want to obfuscate the issues so much. Nobody thinks Israel should be doing exactly what Israel's doing. Oh, and I just got rid of a clip. Oh wait, or is this it? Oh, what else did I get rid of? But basically, this is a clip that they said that they saw on what day is it? Yeah, on Monday. They were like, I've seen this clip. I've seen this clip. Here's Ethan literally saying back in 2017, or it's Hila saying.
Ironic. Find that ironic?
I do. When I lived in Israel, I used to criticize Israel a lot.
Yeah, me too,
as an
actually.
Israeli,
Yeah.
and the army and a lot of stuff. But when we moved here and I started to go on Reddit and stuff like that, and just being more aware of like the online criticism and there's
it's not just online, but it's
not just online.
Yeah.
I just became more aware of like the criticism here of Israel and in general around the world. And it's really, I personally think it's so ironic. It's just like, I don't know, it's kids sitting here in like beautiful California criticizing.
So the only thing that has changed about their stance on Israel is that they see all of the fucking stupid people living in America and other Western countries that like to use it for fucking cookie points. That's literally the point that they make, and the issue that they've had with all of these people that want to come into these things, calling them fucking Zionist genocidal scum. Like that is the point. Is that they, while living in Israel, have an issue. A lot of people that live in Israel have issues with it. But it's not the same as thinking that it should just be completely destroyed. What's up, balls chat? Thanks for coming in. Sorry, guys. We'll get into stuff that'll get me mad for a different reason now. The important stuff. Ugh. That just genuinely... I was trying to give Bizu credibility. Not credibility. Charitability. The thing that they don't want to give Ethan. I was trying to give them the littlest bit of charitability to be able to come into chat, talk about what they want, give their opinion, but to literally lie about what I said and obfuscate from what I said to try and make your point seem more rational is literally the reason people get so angry with that side. And I don't understand how they don't understand that. I just don't get it. Okay. But so this is my response to Idubbbz Content Cop. Interesting stuff.
A few days ago, my good friend Ian, also known as Idubbbz, released a content cop about me. His video's over an hour long and it's full of a lot of accusations. We watched the entire video, every frame of it, responded to every accusation on the podcast and a really long episode. We watched the whole thing. So if you're interested in a more thorough response to everything, I would recommend watching this episode. The video that I'm making today, however, I don't need an hour for, because there's really just one central point that I want to make here. My good friend Ian, in his hour-long takedown, did not mention one time Child Protective Services. Not one time. In the entire video, he never...
I also just want to point out the like to dislike ratio. I'll pull up Content Cop again. I know everyone's talking about, it's not accurate, it's not accurate. It's got to be at least a little bit accurate, right?
says CPS.
It's not just
no
wholly
mention,
wrong.
No explanation, no overview, nothing. Zero mentions of CPS. A few weeks ago, Child Protective Services showed up to our house at 6 a.m. to interrogate us about an anonymous tip they got that our kids were crawling around and eating dog shit at catching diseases. Ian spends the majority of his video characterizing me like a raving...
Ooh, what? Ooh, what the fuck? Oh my god, what the fuck? Yo, like... I don't want to, like, assume that our side botted this because our side is right. Like, the arguments that have been made are correct and this was a bad video. But this like to dislike ratio is crazy. It does have 6.3 million views, though. So that's only, like, that's less than 1 million of the views, like, liking and disliking, so. But still, god damn! My lord.
Lunatic who's lashing out at everyone around me with zero provocation.
Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help, maybe if he stops harassing other creators, maybe if he does these things, eventually he'll find peace and we can, like, rekindle our friendship. And I feel like I am speaking up for a lot of people who have problems with you and a lot of people who have been on the receiving end of your harassment.
What he doesn't say is the majority of these clips he's using are taken from this episode. Now, does he ever show the title of this episode? No, he does not ever show the title of this episode. Snark called Child Protective Services on us. Not only does he not show the title, he doesn't explain why I'm upset, who I'm mad at, why I'm mad at them. Zero context. I am just...
Maybe Idubbbz really thought the people that know what the context is just would be like, okay, we understand what he's talking about, and wouldn't point out that he never talked about CPS. And that the people who didn't have the context would just be like, oh, he's just crashing out. But that would also just be, I don't know if that's more stupid than not understanding what he did.
An anonymous, screaming lunatic.
It's been pleasant hanging out with you. I've enjoyed your content over the years. And as of late, it's gotten really fucking shit.
I think the question now isn't just if Ian is a piece of shit. It's if Ian is a piece of shit and also dumb, or if he is a real piece of shit. You know what I mean? It's like there's levels to this. We have to remember.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Who else? Who else do we want to burn today?
Who else do we want to burn today? You're making it so fucking obvious that this is your emotional dumping ground. It's horrible. This is not what podcasts are. There was a way to approach this to say, like, yeah, we feel hurt by you guys not saying something. You've decided to do the extra thing and attack.
In this episode, the same day that CPS came to my home, I was understandably irate.
I'm surprised Ethan didn't crash out on CPS. Didn't give him a reason to take the kids. I might. Someone just comes to my door and goes, hey, we need to talk to your children. I'd be like, bro, I'm about to throw an elbow into your face. What did you just say? You want to talk to my kids? Come on, try. See what happens. Come take them.
This was a provocation that I had not experienced It went into my real world, was affecting my children and my life in a way that I found extremely disturbing and an escalation that I found very unacceptable. Now, why am I mad at Ian for this? Well, let's start here. Denims is someone he's accusing me of in his video of harassing. Let's see what Denims said about my children 3 days before CPS was called.
He lets his dogs shit all over his mansion, and he just leaves the shit on the floor, something that is probably related to the fact that his former housekeeper is suing him for a number of different reasons. So I would assume he doesn't actually have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like covered in dog shit. And he has kids, and his kids like crawl into the dog shit, and God forbid, I don't know what they do with it. I don't know if they eat it, or if it's just from like contact with it with their hands or something. But they contracted a parasite that I had previously never heard of in my life called Giardia from the dog shit that is all over his house.
Dude, how is it that like maybe once a week I look into what Ethan Klein's been up to, and every time I manage to find more and more terrible shit. This is where Ethan tells a story about his family getting Giardia.
We already have Mold Mondays. Now we have Shit Saturdays.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children. I mean, much like many other illnesses, it's very, very, very dangerous when infants get the same sickness.
I feel like I've seen this clip so many times, and it's just so dumb. Kids get sick. That's how they build their immune systems, by getting sick. Do you not remember being sick as a kid?
That adults get. There are lots of things that you can get as an adult. You're totally fine. You'll be a-okay. No problem. A child, a small infant that has no immune system, shouldn't be catching anything.
No wonder his house is covered in dog shit, and his neglected children raised by nannies have contracted parasites previously unknown to science from the feces. I wonder why he skipped over all of this, because everything that I said in this story, which by the way was apparently compiled by his crew, playing.
No wonder this motherfucker is always sick. Yeah, it all makes sense now. It makes sense why he doesn't care about Palestinian children when he is neglecting his own. How is this happening? How is it happening? How is this happening? Yeah, I mean, I don't even make fun of people's weight. I've never made fun of people's weight. I do make fun of people's posture. If you're making an active decision that like you don't give a fuck about your health or your posture or your dog shitting all over the house to the point where you
Okay, I was about to say, why was this clip included? Like, this was almost just like a, don't say my posture's bad. I was about to say, like, Ethan, what was the point of adding this? But now I get it. She really did hammer it home. It wasn't just the, oh, Bad Empanada saying it. She does say it herself.
Your kids are getting Giardia. That's the image of someone who is not well. Wait, what? Wait, what, Dems? Wait, what? You guys didn't know about this? Yeah. Meth Zempic diet. Oh, God.
Even after
Doesn't make fun of people's weight.
After CPS was called, Denims attempted to justify it by claiming that it's okay because children can't be traumatized.
I want you to create any bad memory here for them. Like, they are 5 and 3. They don't understand this shit. So I told him,
create any bad memory for them. You're not forming memories at 3 years old, and it's very rare that you're forming memories at 5 years old. Nah, yes, you are. No, you're not. When we're talking about being able to remember, being able to recall memories, it's like 4 is the cutoff. But even if you are forming any memories at 4, you're not going to be able to remember them past like 15. You have maybe 1 or 2 memories.
If you're wondering who the guy is she's watching, his name is Bad Empanada. And as far as
I just truly don't understand how she can say stuff that's so wrong, get like corrected by her chat, and just double down on it over and over and over again.
Harassment
It's so
campaigns
incredible.
go, you'd think that Ian, as someone who cares so deeply about it, would be talking about him and not me. Here's a small taste.
I'd like to pay tribute to Ethan Klein and the new Twitch TOS that declares Zionism. Zion is the slur. I'd like to pay tribute to him by playing the first Alexa video game where you kill Zionist soldiers as a Palestinian resistance fighter. Anyways, are these Israelis? They're just standing there? I mean, is the Israeli army a bunch of Ethan Kleins? Like, they're all on a fucking Ozempic binge. They don't understand what's going on around them. They haven't noticed me. Where do they keep the secretaries? In here? I'm hunting for secretaries right now. Secretary got...
Here's Bad Empanada once again, who posted a story saying, I'm the one who called CPS on Ethan Klein. I want CPS to take his kids away because they are seriously in danger.
Okay. I'm realizing. I was thinking, wait, this is the wrong video. This is the one I already watched. It's been 2 days, so I was like, did I watch this off stream? Or did I watch this? I clicked the wrong video, guys. So I'm sorry. I lost too many IQ points from watching Denims, I think, that I didn't even realize that I'm watching the entirely wrong video.
What's on your mind?
It's still a good preface. My bad. Sorry, the amount of brain cells I've lost from the beginning conflict that we had, just everything. Everything is too much for me right now. So, my apologies. Let me play this while I keep apologizing. It's really bad. I'm dumb. We just watched 7 minutes of a video I already watched, so we're going to watch 7 minutes of this video that I haven't watched. I really hope there's a way for Ethan to release a Bad Empanada Discord info. I think it depends. I mean, I don't know how much of it would be considered illegal. It's behind a paywall, but didn't Ethan talk before? I'm pretty sure he talked before about like the fact that you can technically talk about stuff behind a paywall and yada yada yada. Again, my apologies. Let's watch the video while the reason we're actually here. There's more people in chat now, so I guess this is good that we watched that. That was the preface to show how even more disingenuous these people are being. Before we get into the most disingenuous. So yeah.
Hey guys, Ethan here. I never thought in a million years that these people, as much as I dislike them, would intentionally include a swastika and a call-out. I really wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. But if you watch this entire video, you will come to the same conclusion I did, which is that this is almost certainly an intentional dog whistle. These guys knew exactly what they're doing. Well, listen to what I have to say, and then you guys can tell me in the comments if you think I'm being dramatic or not. To be fair, this sword belongs to this dude, Ichigo. And he's got a badass sword. Got like a Hindu symbol, which they also fuck with the Swazi over there. Not in like, you know, the anti-Semitic way, just in the vibes way, right?
So here, okay, I'm gonna let him get into it, but I was trying to look into this a little bit. Apparently the sword goes through different like transmutations or whatever you want to call it. And this is like a latter one that like happens like way later on in the series. So not only would Hasan have to be a fan, but he'd have to be like a fan up to the current like arcs. So I think that is like a necessary thing, but I'm trying to look into that a little bit right now.
So, I mean, here's what it looks like in the anime, and I mean, that's right. That's a swastika. Those Nazis really ruined what was be otherwise a really cool symbol, right? But the Hindus use this, Buddhists use this. It's not just the Nazis, and that's the reference that they're making on Bleach. So here's the first conversation that we have about the sword on the podcast, and you'll notice just how gracious I am. You know what I mean? I would never dream, to be serious, I would never dream that they would do this on purpose. It's just too crazy. But here's our first convo about it. Maybe he is and he doesn't care. I don't know. They had a sword that looked like a swastika in the video. I know it's an anime thing, but maybe we'll be a little more careful.
I said that this morning too.
Let me pull that up. I know that the chances that they did on purpose is close to zero, right? So I'm not accusing them, but like just be a little more aware next time.
Why would they have that though? Like I feel like you buy that, you take one look at it, you go, you know, maybe not.
I got no clue. That
Well, it's not actually a swastika. It just looks like a swastika.
pretty damn
right?
close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's from
Well, I mean, it's a swastika. It's just not a Nazi swastika, I think is what you would say.
It's from an
Bleach.
anime.
Can you send it?
Oh, it's from Bleach. Okay.
Oh.
Like to bleach my mind of this video.
I'm not gonna say that they're
But
most
yeah,
genocide.
probably should have picked a different katana for the
Like
photo.
Ian posted this to Twitter, okay, with a katana,
Listen, he's just embracing his new audience.
with the least anti-Semitic people on Twitch. Zoom in on the hilt, dude. You're being an activist. You're wearing a Palestine scarf, which is great, but don't do it with like. Look how close the swastika is to the Palestine scarf. Like, bro, how are you doing? Who are you helping here, man? We don't want to see swastikas this close to Palestine scarves, right? That's sending the wrong message. But okay, you're our white savior, Ian. I defer to you. Is he a fan of Bleach? That would at least explain why he owns this one. And well, here is our what we found. So is Hasan a Bleach fan that just thinks this sword is cool? He likes the character. That's why he bought it, even though it looks like a swastika.
Oh my god!
What happened?
I fucking hate when you're right, bro.
Me?
What?
Open what I just sent.
Holy shit, dude. Everybody listen up.
What's
This
up,
is
H3
big.
last week? Welcome in.
S tier. Wait, I don't even know who that guy is.
That's Isaac, Bleach.
Oh, I don't watch Bleach.
Doesn't watch
Wait, so
Bleach.
what's the name? Wait, what's the name? I need to hear this real quick.
I don't know who that guy is.
That's Isaac, Bleach.
Oh,
Isa?
I don't watch
Is that what he's
Bleach.
Doesn't watch Bleach. Now, this video is from 8 months ago, right? So, I mean, listen, it's been almost a year. So we continue to look to see, hey, is he a fan of Bleach? This one's from 4 months a year.
I need to figure out who that
we
character
continue
is.
to
Wait.
look to see, hey,
Oh,
is he a
no.
fan of Bleach?
Because that I think would be the dead giveaway. If that's like a very like because I just keep seeing people going like he read the manga. He read the manga. He just didn't watch the anime. I feel like he probably had a fucking Shonen Jump with like one side was Bleach and the other side was Digimon, and he's like, yeah, I fucking read Bleach. Like, did he ever say that he read Bleach? Because I feel like that would be like a caveat you would give every single time you say, well, I've never watched the anime, but I've read the manga, so I know like the. Honestly, most people wouldn't even say I haven't watched the anime. They just go, no, I've read the manga. Have you seen Bleach? No, I read the manga. Because they're all pretentious.
This one's from 4 months ago, which is pretty dang
I was like,
recent.
oh, it's play
Pause
on the.
Does it get worse? Does it get worse? Oh God, is this even more recent?
Isaac?
It's much more recent.
Thank you.
This is no. This is from 4 months ago. No, what does he say?
Do you watch Bleach? I do not. I do not.
So 4 months ago, he's not a Bleach fan. I'm trying to find any out, right? Like, there's no way that they would intentionally use the sword with the swastika. Now, this clip is from today, and I want to show you guys just how, like, I so want to give them the benefit of the doubt on this. Sword with a swastika hilt.
Well, I've been informed repeatedly that it's a Buddhist swastika.
I'm sure it is, Dan. and is Hasan a big fan of Bleach, we establish?
What we established is that 4 months ago he was not. It's possible that he binge watched the fuck out of it in the last couple months. It is possible.
If that's what happened, it started with the hilt and inspired him to watch it.
I still think it's a poor coincidence, but it also is just like, come on.
Did
nobody look at this? Did nobody look at this at all?
Do I think any of them actually like wanted to put a swastika in the photo? No, no. I don't actually think that. Do I think that it's insane that they didn't catch that there's a swastika? I mean, somebody at some point must have noticed the hilt of that is a swastika.
Or maybe after they posted it and then everybody pointing it out, maybe you just take it down and post a different photo.
Nope, it's
I
still
assume
up.
you took quite a few. You know?
It's still up. Well, guys, pay attention because this came out right after the show ended. And I gotta say, guys, I don't think there's gonna be a
I mean, I don't know if putting DEI dubs after working with like you know what I mean, like minority creators or whatever you'd want to say. I feel like I don't know if that's a. It's like it's missing the irony, like the wearing the "Make America Great Again" hats. It's like, do you guys understand how irony works?
single person left watching this that has any doubt about what's happening. Here he is buying the sword at an anime expo.
I want the normal, this one. The normal one without the... This one's sicker. Wait, that's a little sus.
So he
At least he didn't say it's sicker after he said it was sus.
points to the swastika hilt and says that's a little sus. At this point, I feel like you can pretty much conclude that he was talking about the shape of the...
I think also from this, you would probably be able to conclude that he doesn't know that it's Ichigo's sword, right? Like, I know that's me making like the presumption, but for him to not recognize it, for him to go, that looks sus, wouldn't he go, oh shit, you see that? I know it looks fucked, but this is Ichigo's sword. And say some shit. It's just
swastika.
so... I don't understand why people are trying to... Why is it so hard to go, maybe he was trying to be a little edgy. Maybe it was a bad look. But Ian didn't mean to when he pulled it. Like you could maybe make the fucking argument still. But I don't understand why they just want to make it like... Well, no. Hasan is pure. Hasan would never get something just for the edgy joke of it. Because I could totally see Hasan... I could see so many people getting it because it's not Nazi related. It is a swastika. And so you're like, it's like funny in the way of someone's going to come in and go, dude, is that a fucking swastika? And I can go, no, bro, it's from an anime. That's from Bleach. It's, and you can talk about it. I could totally see that being the case, but to try and lie about it is just dumb. I don't know why. Like, why are people trying to make that excuse?
I think that Hasan fans and Hasan himself would still deny it, saying,
like, it doesn't make it okay. And don't get me wrong when I say that too, because yeah, even if you like the show, it doesn't give you a swastika pass. But like, there are instances like I don't necessarily have like if someone owns Nazi memorabilia, I might think it's weird, but I'm gonna have more of a question rather than just assume that they're a Nazi. But for them to keep obfuscating that it's nothing close to that, it's not even related, is where you draw like the broader conclusions. Ooh, Marvel Rivals? And Audacity, bro's still editing in Audacity? That's crazy.
It's a Buddhist symbol. I was talking about something else, whatever, yada, yada. Well, guys, here's another one from July 2023.
But if he liked big swords, he wouldn't have picked the katana because there's a bunch of other options. This one's longer. These obviously are like more gimmicky things, but like they're bigger. They're bigger, better swords than the one with the swastika. This is almost like just a normal sized katana.
Buddhist symbol. I was talking about something else, whatever, yada, yada. Well, guys, here's another one from July 2023.
Immediately goes for the swastika one. Got it.
I like this already much better.
You're the one who owns this.
Do you remember when we did that designer clothes stream?
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Hasan, can you say that one more time for me?
That's a back. That's like a bag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Immediately goes for the swastika one. Got it.
I like this already much better.
You're the one who owns this.
Do you remember when we did that designer?
That's a great point. He is the one that owns it. So, I mean, guys, what are we doing here? So we've confirmed that even as far back as 2023, he knew it was the swastika sword. I tried to get him out of this, every step of the way. But here is, and I mean, is it a coincidence that Ian really shaved his head just before doing this video and he's holding a swastika one? I mean, free Palestine, really, bro? The movement doesn't need this, okay? We can free Palestine without being a Nazi.
Me, on the other hand, I look
What's
so
that?
cool.
I have some dope attire on.
Yeah, did you buy this here?
Yeah, I was buying another one that was black because I thought it matched my outfit, and then it had a swastika, and I was like, oh.
Ludwig saw the sword. He's
You see what I mean? It's just like they're just fucking like edgy teenagers that never grew up. The thing is like I wouldn't even necessarily blame them for that, to just be like, oh, it was just for the fucking edginess of it. Yeah, it's weird, it's fucked up, like just to be like, but that isn't necessarily like the worst thing in the world. But the trying to hide it makes me think that there's ulterior like motives behind it, and that's like the thing that's weird. Is it's like, why not just be honest and be like, oh, I got it because it was edgy, but I have the sword now. I do actually. I started watching the anime. I do like it. Yada yada yada. But no, he read the manga.
He's like, oh, it has a swastika. So clearly it's the first thing everybody notices about this sword. It's not subtle at all.
I feel like I'm blinking one eye at a time
guys,
right now.
What do we think? Right? I mean, what do we think? What do we think? Okay, yeah, fuck you guys too, okay? How about you fucking Nazis? How about that? Guys, if you got an alternate theory, please let me know. But as far as I can tell, this ain't no coincidence. And by the way, he's holding it in such a way that makes the swastika pretty apparent. Why did you choose that one, buddy? Well, this is the white savior, Ian, who's just found empathy, unless you're Jewish, of course. Someone should explain.
Or at least, because here's the thing. Every time somebody picks it up, it seems that Hasan remembers, oh, the swastika one. So I think you're right that, like, because like that's what I'm saying, is in an Indian context and in like, you know, like Hindu and Buddhist like religions, there's different ways that it's used that I'm not necessarily going to like be like, oh, Bleach is a Nazi anime. Anyone who watches Bleach is a Nazi. But it's the context of when it's being used, and using this in the context of Israel Palestine, and every time Hasan sees it, he goes like, it's the swastika one. It's the swastika one.
This because it does not look good. This is your friend Ethan Klein saying, Jews will not replace us. Oh, sorry. I think that's Ian's line.
And before people go, but it is a swastika. That is what it is. He's not like saying it's a Nazi swastika. Why point out it's a swastika at all then? Why not just say it's Ichigo's sword? Why go, oh, of course you picked the swastika one. Why? Is he religious?
I mean, saying good night and farewell. Thanks for watching.
Here's how I aced my midterm project with
Ian's dumb and also way more edgy. So I could see Ian very much being like doing this intentionally. Like I know that just seems like, oh, you're just making a mountain out of a molehill, but realistically, it's like Ian's edgy enough to try and get that passed. But apparently, here's a clip of Hasan one day ago. I've never watched Bleach. I just thought the sword looked cool. If only Ethan had watched this before making today's video. Also, he doubles down that he could be anti-Semitic if he wants to, and rants about how supporters of Israel are always trying to censor him. I don't want to misquote him like they did to me this morning. So let's listen to it in its entirety and give him some credibility while I cover up his face by accident. Look, guys, I'm in Hasan's room. I always forget Reddit leaves stuff muted. So weird. Does this not have audio? Oh, I muted the tab. That's why I'm just stupid. Unmute number 2.
There's a clip of you they show where you say you don't watch the show. I don't. I've read the mangas, but I've never watched the actual anime. And I stopped reading the mangas a long ass time ago.
So there's no way he got to the arc that has the sword. Because it's from like, if he stopped reading it a long ass time ago, Ichigo didn't have this sword forever. It's not like his first sword.
The hell, that is a fucking uncomfortable similarity to a swastika.
I bought this on stream, dude. What are we talking about?
Why does that matter? Why would buying it on stream matter at all?
I bought this at Anime Expo on stream. Here's the VOD. You bought them on stream? Yeah.
Once again, have fun, y'all.
To be fair to Ian, it was his whole thing. He's not edgy anymore, but he is when he wants to be. But his edginess a lot of the time now is just going, ugh, ugh, ugh. That's his new edgy.
I literally say right here, I don't even.
That's the thing, is that a main character, the one from the thing? But also, yeah, I just call bullshit because he didn't recognize it as Ichigo's sword. He went, whoa, this sword's sicker. Wait, that looks sus. He never once said, oh, this is Ichigo's, unless that clip was cut out. Unless he does go, oh wait, this is Ichigo's sword from da-da-da-da-da.
Fuck with Bleach like that, but the sword is sick.
This is after the Zenjutsu.
I'm gonna go. Dan got clips sent to him. Dug up moments of you saying you don't even like Bleach. Where they got these convenience clips so quickly? Who could say? Yeah, this is... I mean, here's another clip of me literally purchasing it because I think it looks cool because it's a long sword. And it has like a little dangly thing. I have it prominently placed on my wall, but it's not in the streaming room.
Wait, what?
I have it prominently. Yeah, this is. I mean, here's another clip of me literally purchasing it because I think it looks cool because it's a longsword and it has like a little dangly thing. I have it prominently placed on my wall, but it's not in the streaming room. Like, I don't.
Wait, so he knows to not have the swastika in his stream in the background, but he just put it like above a banister or something. I'm surprised Ethan didn't notice it when he went over.
I don't know why so many of my fucking naysayers will just like look at something that I have volunteered and then try to.
Why the fuck does that? I don't understand what the fuck this argument is. I hear people say this all the time. It's from his stream. He talks about this all the time. Does that make it okay? Has it ever been like, oh, if we just talk about it, that means it's okay to do it? That means it's like, if we just openly, like what? I've showed the sword on stream all the time. So what? That's not what we're talking about.
To make it into like a controversy. It's whenever people are like, Hasan, you have.
To be honest, Hasan probably would buy a sword with a Confederate flag on it. And he'd be like, yeah, brother. He'd be doing one of those.
An affluent beginning and you're privileged.
And then he'd take ironic shirtless pictures with it and be like, see, I'm being like a conservative.
And your uncle is Cenk Uygur. You are a nepotism recipient. And then they'll be like, and here, he admits it. And it's just me talking about all of those things. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, dude, why would I be fucking embarrassed by this? I'm not. This is my life. This is something that I have volunteered myself. Why do you think this is like some hidden secret? You're the only dumbass who thinks this is a hidden secret. Same.
Who thought it was a hidden secret? You used it in the fucking video. They used it for his Instagram post. Nobody's thinking it's like, oh, this is super. Like, the whole thing is that you're not being covert about it. It seems like it's being like blatant, like being blatantly stated. Just say, that's not why we used it. He used it for this reason. Don't go, I love that sword. I have that sword placed prominently on my wall. I'm not scared of that sword. I'm not afraid to talk about that sword. Okay. Good for you.
Same with fucking, same with like me purchasing this bleach katana, knowing well that it's a katana from bleach that I am not that interested in terms of the anime itself, but I think the fucking katana is cool. It looks dope. Why would I be fucking ashamed of any of this?
More so than any other long sword or whatever? Like, more so than any other sword? What makes it so sick?
It's fun.
Because this almost feels like a dog whistle, too, to be like, it's a sick sword. What? What's the issue? What's so sick about it?
Funny thinking you are sneakily anti-Semitic when you could make $1 trillion by being really anti-Semitic, like all the other dudes. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the other side of this, where it's like, at this point, there is no more fucking safeguards on unlimited anti-Semitism. If I was fucking anti-Semitic, I would just say it. Get a fucking larger audience, as a matter of fact, constantly noticing things. You know what I mean? Why would I trap myself in a fucking bind where people are like desperate to hear anti-Semitism from me? I'd just fucking cave into it if that's something I personally believed in. It's such a stupid. Yeah, the reason why I brought this up, by the way, is because I wanted to see what he had to say about this, as opposed to Sam Hyde, who he was like, he's a really far right kind of guy.
Never get into Bleach.
I just want to see.
Ethan just didn't overly step into what could be considered like defamation by saying that Sam Hyde's a neo-Nazi. When I think that I'm pretty sure what we know is that Sam Hyde did donate to a Nazi, like a dude that got arrested for being involved with like a neo-Nazi group or something. It was something like that. Like he supported somebody that was a neo-Nazi or some shit because he was like, freedom of speech. People should be allowed to fucking desecrate our great nation.
Like, this looks like a swastika.
Yeah, totally.
Or do you think that now that it's been pointed out that he should remove the photo at least? Take it down?
No.
Bro. I like that immediately. The first thing is like, let's remove this photo, please.
It's just so dumb, guys, because nobody is saying, oh my god, nobody is saying if you own a fucking Nazi helmet from the war, if you own a fucking Nazi pendant that was taken off a fucking Nazi's dead body, like no one's gonna go, oh, that's fucking gross, you're disgusting for that. They might just ask you, hey, what's this? What do you find the significance in owning this? So what's the significance you find in owning this? You just think it looks cool? What looks so cool about it? Is it that it's like a black steel? Is it that it's... Because what you're doing is you're leaving it open for people that do think it's because it's a swastika to go, oh, he likes it because it's a swastika. He thinks it looks cool because it's a swastika. It's just like, I don't understand. How is this guy always eating? He's got to get his protein intake, bro. You see those gains? Have you seen his decal on the wall? How is he supposed to attain this physique?
Like, it's always policing content, okay? For defenders of Israel, it's just one note, one speed. Can we get this taken down, please? Eve Fatlaw. Like, there's never been, I'm serious, there's never been a moment in my life where I'm like, this bothers me. I'm going to call the manager and demand that this person is removed. Like, how ridiculous. How is that the first? How is that always the first speed here? Jesus Christ.
He's not going to.
It's just, yeah, bro, play the video while you're eating. Don't just fucking start leaning over.
That's a...
Come on, dude. It's very cool. I mean, I guess objectively it is the shape of a swastika, but I think the intent has nothing to do with Nazi Germany. The Nazis have
Why is it that in their... They do these investigations, but...
Bro, swallow before you fucking speak. Jesus.
They couldn't figure out where I bought this katana. The policing of people to talk to and the content to consume, they're like a toxic ex. No, it's just like, this is something that happens with supporters of Israel. They think that they think that they run shit no matter what.
They? I'm just joking. I know he doesn't mean it like that, but still.
Literally.
Okay, so this isn't exactly accurate. He did say that he could if he wanted to, and that's what proves that he isn't. When in reality, it's like there's a lot of ways to be anti-Semitic while still being liberally minded. And honestly, I think people need to move away from the anti-Semitism perspective and just start talking about the fact that honestly, they're all being extremely xenophobic because they're all saying that all of Israel believes in the Israeli government and believes in what they're doing to Gaza and all believe in one thing, and it's just a xenophobic worldview to assume that. But I just saw this and I think this might be interesting to look into. Because yes, I'll just say it again because I feel like I have to say this every single time we talk about it. Israel has the right to exist not as it does currently. They need to fix a lot of things, but that doesn't mean that it should just be wholly dissolved in the same way that America should not be wholly dissolved, or in the same way that Nazi Germany was not wholly dissolved. You reform, you fix things, you improve, and you try and make, amends for the things, the wrongs and the ills that your predecessors committed. I don't understand why that's so hard to understand. This is one step away from the Onion article about PewDiePie accidentally putting on an entire SS uniform. I have to say, PewDiePie, does he only get a pass because he's Swedish? Because bro did do a little much. The N-word, the SS uniform. I'm sure there's more, but those are just the ones that come off the top, off the dome. But I found this was a shout out to Emma. Emma posted this on the H3H3 subreddit. Open source the legal destruction of bad empanada. Drew Pavlov just open sourced his legal letter used against bad empanada. There is plenty of stuff in there that breaches both Patreon and Ko-Fi terms of service. These two platforms are probably bad empanada's main source of income, and he states multiple times in his videos that he is only able to make them because of his supporters on these platforms. Here is his Ko-Fi, and here's his Patreon account. Again, I don't think that you should go there and just file BS like takedowns on it, but if there are things, and we'll look in here and see what he does, but if these are proof, then maybe it's worth it. Thanks, Alex. I really appreciate it. Thank you for stopping in at all. Yeah, I do think that's the issue, is people hear anti-Semitism and they stop listening. And that's like the main thing, is it's like, it sucks, but you always have to step your foot across the line first. It's, you have to, come with open arms and be prepared to get fucking stabbed for it. Like, that's kind of the thing. And I mean that in a metaphorical sense. I'm not saying that people are fucking terrorists. That's not the point. But I just mean people are always going to come at you with vitriol, and you have to always kind of come through in the most positive way possible that only frames it in a way that actually is like, that people can't like try and rationalize. The Papa Gut chat really is they're the real homies. They be getting it in. Someone comes into chat, they just dogpile them, which is pretty good. I've just been seeing that more, and that's what we need more of, honestly. Don't dogpile people. Don't call people ugly. Don't call people stupid for no reason. Point out why their arguments are wrong. More people need to do that. And I know if you don't have the time, don't feel like it's like your goal in life that you need to make sure that you're doing this and that. But you really need, if you see something that you can easily dismantle, give it a sentence or two. It works on your public speaking. It works on your idea collection. But here is also a short list of blatant TOS violations. Okay, so let's look at what Drew Pavlov. Drew Pavlov's Iceberg Journal. Open source, the legal destruction of bad empanada. So he dropped this yesterday. Oh, Hamas raped a bunch of babies' kids now? Where are the video evidence of it? I was looking to jerk off anyways. Absolutely insane. Nah, for real. That's why I do the pre-stream. I might start doing post-streams too, but come on, Papa Guy. You gotta know. You're gonna get more viewers. But I'm glad they keep using like these images of him. I want to see that other one that they used. That was so crazy. I'll pull that up in a second. Go subscribe to his journal. I'm not gonna sign into my Substack right now. Go subscribe, but slaying the horrible beast. Dear friends, Bad Empanada is a particularly sick and disgusting Greek-Australian Hamas supporter living in Buenos Aires. He boasts hundreds of thousands of followers, and he's recently been promoted by the single largest online political streamer, Hasan Piker. This is despite the fact that he has explicitly called for the mass murder of all Israelis, as well as terrorist attacks against Jewish civilians across the world. This man is responsible for a reign of terror against hundreds of people online, a campaign that has now escalated to the point where human skulls have been sent to the address of famous YouTuber Hila Klein. Bad Empanada encouraged this terrifying harassment campaign while boasting about calling Child Protective Services on Ethan simply because his wife is Israeli. I guess it is like online racketeering. That's astute. The reason why the sword is wrong in this context is because it's used by the people who do not defend innocent Israelis and hence appears to be anti-Semitic. See, that's the thing. I think that you can argue that this is anti-Semitic. Using the swastika in this way, you can argue this is for sure anti-Semitic. But my greater point is arguing that anybody that is like anti-Israel is anti-Semitic. It's like you need to show them that they're really being xenophobic because not everybody in Israel, like, I don't know. It is just like it's a cognitive dissonance that I don't know how we work past, honestly. In my personal case, Bad Empanada doxed my family. Oh wait, sorry. Well, thank you for stopping in, Ass Kick. Sorry, I wanted to read another chat. I saw there were more chats coming in. Trying to be on top of things. But in my personal case, Bad Empanada doxed my family members by posting my address and phone number to his followers and literally encouraging them to kill me. Somehow, he thought this was a good idea prior to engaging a random no-win, no-fee, Better Call Saul-ass law firm in Australia to try to sue me for defamation of character. You need to put to try and sue me or try to sue me. Little spelling error here, Drew. Just letting you know. This was a huge mistake on his part because I work for one of the best barristers in Australia. Anthony Morris KC was the youngest person appointed silk in the entire Commonwealth in the 20th century, and he's previously represented clients ranging from Australian prime ministers to Oasis Noel Gallagher. That's the thing too, is honestly, I wouldn't do anything. I would just never attack anybody, any specific person, under the guise of Palestine, or you know what I mean? Like I'm supporting Palestinian like activists or whatever. It's just a weird, it's moral grandstanding that's like you're putting yourself in a position of like moral superiority before even starting. And in this way, it's clearly being like mishandled. But yeah, so Anthony Morris KC sent a letter back to his law firm basically explaining that it is categorically impossible for Bad Empanada to be defamed by anybody on the planet because his reputation is already so horrible. That's interesting. To say this dude already has so much terrible shit about him online that you can't say anything like else. Like people have already said he's a pedophile or he's what, you know what I mean? Like if all those things are already out there, can you technically defame him because all you're doing is just regurgitating the statements of others? Truly booming. I give it 5. You know what I give this chat today? I give this chat 5 big booms. Boom, 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 boom. But yes. I just love that Bad Empanada really does think that he's like, I don't even know what he thinks he is. Bro thinks he's like Lex Luthor or something. He thinks he's just sitting in the background, controlling. He said, just you wait. Little did he know he's not facing Superman, he's facing Batman. But take a sample paragraph. He has a long history of publicly endorsing child abuse, rape, mass murder, and genocide through his posts, thereby demonstrating that he is a deeply amoral and antisocial individual who poses a very real danger to society. If that's actually a sample out of the like thing that the law firm sent directly to Bad Empanada. Yeah, I guess that's the best thing. He thinks he's an anti-hero. Yeah, Lucifer coded. He really does think he's like, I'm doing the worst to help the world. Bro wishes he was Deadpool. It's See, I don't want to defame Zach, but it's the true definition of Joker brain. Like, it's the mental anguish that he must be going through on a daily basis. But let's continue. We're almost done here. So we added a letter containing hundreds of these screenshots, and his law firm dropped him as a client. Get fucked. Bad Empanada loves to threaten people with defamation proceedings. This is one of his all-time favorite harassment tactics, and he's used this against dozens of people to try and silence their criticism of him. Drew, I'm sorry, but you have to fix these slight spelling errors. People are going to come hate on you. They're going to come call you unintelligent, especially George the human STD Giantitis. Because Bad Empanada is so insane, I've decided to open source Anthony Morris's legal letter to him. It shows that the BE has no reputation to be defamed. Remember, when Anthony Morris KC sent this to his law firm, they dropped him as a client immediately. Simply consult this letter if Bad Empanada ever threatens to sue you in the future. Together, we can take this terror tactic away from him. Yeah, exactly. It's an unironic Joker brain. He genuinely is just lost. He must have actually fallen into a vat of chemical acid, and like that's what made him look like this and act like this. It's the only thing that would make sense. So here is the beginning. Defamation. Our client, George the human STD Giantitis. Dear sir. Dear sir or madam, please find our correspondence attached. Associate. Oh wait, is there a title up? Ooh. Oh. We still don't even have even a live set up yet. How interesting. They don't even have a chat set up yet. That's why there's people in here. Nice. He's an obscure Batman villain, but he's more like Anarchy. Because I know... Yeah. Because he just wants to burn it all down. Wasn't this guy in Batman Arkham City or something, or Arkham Knight? I remember him from an Arkham game. But, no. Okay, we're going to continue. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. Any snarkers in chat today? Monday was really fun. No, you missed it, Alex. I kicked her out in the beginning. Or I kicked them out. I don't know if it was a girl. There was Bizu. They were talking shit. Go back to the beginning of the video if you want to see me completely own a snarker. Completely wreck a snarker with logic and facts. You just know his lawyers are sitting there wide-eyed and sweating when he started yapping about his online drama. No, literally, I feel like they must have gotten this letter like in Australia and just went, sorry, bro, you need to leave. And that's why he ran away to Argentina. My favorite part of his stupid letter. We are instructed that, in the time since the offending publications we made, our client's X account has received significantly 73% to 84% less likes, followers, replies, and reposts than it usually does. What? Bro's just getting less interactions and he's mad about it? I don't think that you could act like that's like something that you like. Could you make that a one-to-one? Ah, thanks. Thanks, Scoogalucci. I really appreciate it. Thank you for stopping in. But my response, Dear Sir / Madam, Mr. Pavlov is currently out of the office until the 32nd of February. We will endeavor to respond at the earliest convenience. Best regards, wishes, Alexander Matthew Timely Phillips the 16th. Personal assistant to Mr. Pavlov. Feast day of St. David Kavlon Burmans. Martyr of the Mexican Revolution. What greater glory is there than to die saving a soul? Saint David on his way to minister to the wounded in a firefight. What a great response. That's exactly how you're supposed to respond to stuff like this. It's so great. That's amazing. Okay, so here's Tony's legal letter. So here's the legal letter that I guess went out to. Ooh, oh, let's see. We got a lot of juicy stuff here. Tony's legal letter. Anthony J.H. Morris, K.C. 23rd February 2024. Twami Dispute Lawyers. What an interesting name. Twami. I don't think I've ever heard that name before. Dear Miss Walker and Mr. Suffern. All interesting names, I guess. Read Drew Pavla and George the Human STD Giantitis. Oh, if you're interested, we're looking at an open source, the legal destruction of Bad Empanada. It's basically showing that Bad Empanada is a piece of shit, and in Australia at least, a legal team dropped him because they thought that he is too despicable. He is an amoral lunatic that cannot be defamed, apparently. So I represent Mr. Drew Pavla. I represent Mr. Drew Pavla. We are Spartacus, who has asked me to respond to your letter of 30 January 2024, purporting to be a concerns notice pursuant to Section 12A of the Defamation Act 2005. Mr. Pavla has provided me with detailed instructions regarding the assertions contained in your letter. However, I find it is unnecessary to engage with all of the details contained in a lengthy and somewhat repetitive item of correspondence. That is because Mr. Pavla has no intention to make amends, either in the manner demanded in your letter or at all. If your client chooses to institute proceedings for defamation, Mr. Pavla will defend those proceedings and will also counterclaim on the grounds canvassed below. No reputation capable of being harmed. This is amazing to just say he's so fucking despicable. He doesn't have a reputation. I just don't understand how someone can be this fucking just evil. And how someone like Hasan can be like, okay, I might disagree with him sometimes, but when he's talking about history, it kind of adds up. It's like someone who goes, I don't know, man, Hitler was a bad guy, but those paintings speak to me. There are a lot of good painters in the world. Look around. There are a lot of people that say a lot of good things. Stop clinging to the fucking lunatics. Despite the redamontade contained in your letter, under the subheadings background and serious harm, Mr. Pavla is satisfied that your client enjoys no reputation in Queensland which is capable of being injured by the identified publications. Your letter mentions that your client received the Don Gibb Royal Historical Society of Victoria Prize in Australia history in 2019. So he knows a lot about Australian history. The prize is largely unknown in Queensland, and any weight which may give to it as enhancing your client's reputation would depend on the selection criteria for this prize as well as evidence of its reputational value. In any event, the defamatory imputation asserted in your letter do not go to any reputation which your client might enjoy, either as the winner of a history prize or otherwise as a historian. So I'm guessing these are the published widely. Your letter also mentions that your client's writings and videos have been published widely online, including by the literary journal Overland, the online magazine Counterpunch, and an independent media outlet, An Sinoc Fawn. Mr. Pavla is not aware that any of these publications has a significant readership or following in Queensland, and any weight which they may carry as proof of your client's reputation would depend, again, on the editorial's policies under which material is accepted for publication and evidence of their reputational value. So it's just perfectly just saying, like, who gives a shit about any of these little awards or the fact that he's been, they cite him here and there. It probably doesn't, like, even affect the claims that were being made. And yeah, see, I don't watch Hasan, so I don't even know, but if he's literally just watching him because he's like, see, he's a good guy. See, he just knows what he's talking about in general. Philosophically, he's a smart individual. Hasan platforming is genuinely one of the worst things he's done since breaking up with Ethan. Like, there was no need. Just ignore Ethan like you said you would. It's just so funny that Hasan basically said, I'm getting rid of my no talking policy because he started losing followers a little bit, decided to jump headfirst back into drama, and like, it's just, you could have just had a normal life. Could have downsized a little bit, maybe just kept a few things humble, not been such a hedonist. But no, you wanted to make it a bigger issue. You didn't want things to fizzle out. Because like you said, I mean, the content nuke is a little bit old at this point. People would have just, stopped talking about it if you just never brought it up. But all this stuff with the content cop is kind of bringing it back. And people's going to see this now, and they're going to just be like, oh, why has Hasan ever been talking about this guy? Family, welcome in. But let's continue. I'm trying to get to the point where it actually shows what he said. Oh, so here's attachments and stuff. Pages of screenshots showing better. Okay, so these are the annexures. These files contain 43 pages of screenshots showing Bad Empanada endorsing terrorist attacks in various terrorist organizations around the world. They also contain screenshots showing him doxing and threatening countless people. And this is the capitulation. So we'll read all these in a second, but this is the capitulation from the law firm that originally contacted them. Dear Miss Walker and Mr. Suffren, Drew Pavlov and George Giantitis, I refer to my letter of 23 February 2024, to which I have received no response. Given that a fortnight, this is to, I'm sorry, I got confused. This was to George's lawyer? Yeah? He said his was the... Yeah. So this is his lawyer. This is Pavlov's lawyer. Sorry, my bad. Given that a fortnight has passed since you received that letter, I should imagine that you have had sufficient time to take any necessary instructions. Can you please advise whether Mr. the human STD has any response to the concerns notice given on behalf of Mr. Pavlov? Whether Mr. Giantitis intends to institute defamation proceedings as foreshadowed in your letter of 30 January 2024, and if not, whether you have instructions to accept service of defamation proceedings to be instituted by Mr. Pavlov against Mr. Giantitis. Yours sincerely, Anthony J.H. Morris, KC. The conclusion. I publish this legal exchange in the hopes that it may be of some use to anybody terrorized by Bad Empanada in the future. Kind of like Ethan, who is getting threats from Bad Empanada now that, we're going to sue him for defamation. Ethan already said bring it on, but now it's just like you don't even need to worry about it. You could say whatever the fuck you want about this guy. This guy is legitimately a moral, political, and spiritual terrorist, and he thinks that he has total impunity because he lives in Argentina, where the civil court system is broken. Remember, terrorists only have power if you give them power over you. Never capitulate to his terrorist tactics. Hold strong and call his bluff, and he will fold like he folded above. Most blessed wishes, Alexander Matthew Timley Phillips. That's him. Personal assistant to Mr. Pavlov. April 23rd, 2025. feast day of holy, glorious, great martyr and victory bearer and wonder worker George. Behold, I have given you authority to tread upon serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall hurt you. The Gospel of St. Luke 10:19. This is fucking amazing. I do have to say, I just love this. So we're going to look at these. I'm going to download these. The PDF. So let's just look through a few of these. I have to say, are these real? Everybody does the, they can do a, I guess they look real. What you do is you look for, what the fuck's it called? Why can't I remember the term for it? The bleep bloops, the little squigglies in the markings. You see what's wrong. 9/11 was an attack on a legitimate military target. Those within the towers were the soldiers of Western financial imperialism. It was there the bureaucrats schemed and carried out operations to indebt other countries to steal their resources and bring them into ruin. So that's a justification for 9/11. I don't know why this one was on its own. The murders of countless millions had been plotted and dictated from within those walls. The attack there was just as valid as the attack on the Pentagon. The great Ward Churchill already outlined this exact fact soon after the attack of the World Imperialism Center. The little Eichmanns within the towers were at least as directly complicit in imperialism as a soldier is. And then he gave an Internet Archive link. Amazing. For real. Please, 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 let there be consequences for the USA. The people of the world demand justice in any form. And then basically saying, do more 9/11s. I'm sorry, but the correct answer to, should we shoot down airliners to protest Israel is no, not, well, it's technically infeasible. Very, very true. You should not want to shoot down airliners to protest Israel. That's fucking insane. That's almost like, what would you call it? Terrorism? They can still impact the port of... so this is just someone else talking, but Bad Empanada responded going, the correct answer is that airliners can be way more useful than just that. That one's vague enough that maybe he could be like, no, I was siding with him. I'm saying airliners shouldn't just be used as military targets. You should use them as planes and fly them into buildings. I'm pro death penalty for American soldiers. That in what regard? Just all of them? To what crime? To what end? Bro got 52 likes with that one, killing it. My plan to bring U.S. veteran murderers to justice. Cut as much funding as possible from veteran affairs. Problem will slowly fix itself. What do you actually want to do about it, though? I just... So he thinks just kill more U.S. soldiers. There is an active genocide going on, which is receiving crucial backing from U.S. government officials, like President Joe Biden. If you are an American, these people are within your reach. Coincidentally, the U.S. is one of the easiest countries in the world to buy a gun in. He's telling you to go kill people like Joe Biden. It was very awesome that the USA allows you to buy weapons like these easily. They can be utilized very effectively from the grassy knoll or a book depository. That was not the type of gun that was used at all. He calls himself a historian. What a fucking dumbass. At least he's not a Zionist.
He might think that all Americans should be slaughtered, but at least he's not a Zionist.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Bad empanada. Israel can only carry out its genocide due to being backed by the US, Americans. If you want to stop them, take action. Those who enable this genocide have no names and addresses. So I guess what Drew's really trying to show here is that, especially in America, this guy's reputation would be so deplorable in America that there's no way that you could bring him to a lower level. When he's saying all this type of stuff, if anybody knows about like things being said about him, they probably know about the things he said as well. It is so easy to get a gun in your country. I just don't understand how he keeps saying this stuff and it doesn't get... I guess it's because it only gets 83 likes and 11 reposts. Not enough people are seeing it to get it taken down. Zionists anywhere are combatants actively spreading propaganda to enable a genocide. Their words kill. They must be stopped. Stopped how? Their words kill and they must be stopped. Stopped how? And this isn't even people that are, like, it's literally saying all people that believe that Israel should exist are combatants and should be killed. If you spread the propaganda of a genocidal settler state, you are actively inciting genocide. This makes you a combatant and a valid target for operation. I guess I'm a valid combatant. Oh no. They're coming for me. I'm spreading propaganda. Bizu said it earlier. I wonder if they're still in here hate watching. I made it just so they can't comment in chat. Watching while you do some illustrations for work? What's good? Welcome in. I hope that your hands don't start shaking from rage. But continue. How many did he say there were in here? 40? 43. And we're on annexure 12. 90% of Israelis support the massacre of Palestinian civilians. This is a complicit population that is a valid target. And this is when someone posted, nearly 90% of Israeli Jews believe that it's fine to slaughter Palestinians in Gaza. To what extent do you think that Israel should take into consideration the suffering of the civilian Palestinian population in Gaza when planning the next phases of fighting there? Wait, what? Because they're saying this? I'm confused how you get 90% from this. I get this, I guess these ones? But that still doesn't... Whatever, we're going to move on. It's just stupid. This is my point. It's like, why do they feel the need to exaggerate shit? If this is true, and these are like points that you can make, I need to see what this is from though. This is just such a weird cutout. But even if this is true, I feel like you could talk about this in a rational way that isn't like just going like they're a valid target. All these people need to be fucking massacred because they all do believe that you should kill Palestinians in Gaza. Again, it's xenophobic. It's xenophobic to assume this because I'm so confused by this because it's 70, 82, 82, 83.4, 83.4. And then these, is that what they're saying? Plus these is like 88. Israeli generally think that there are no innocent people in Gaza. Where do you get this information? Yeah, of course. You shouldn't kill any... that's my thing, is I think that obviously Israel is doing bad things where they are at times targeting civilians. And that's obviously wrong. But in that, you should not say that all Israelis believe it. Because even if you want to say that most believe it, I'll be like, okay, if this is true, and it's this 88% or whatever, 89%, I'm just still like, I guess you can round it up, whatever, to 90. But still, I just feel like this is a point to try and make it You're pushing it too far. You could use this as a point of argument, but not to say that you should just kill these people that believe this. Because this isn't about if they think that you should go and kill them. This is if they think that they should consider the suffering beyond their suffering, kind of, you know what I mean? And I know they aren't suffering to that extent, obviously, but they're going to say that obviously they care more about themselves and their families than they do about the people in Gaza. Is that bad? Depends on how you look at it. People should care more about their families, just as I think the people in Gaza should care more about their families than the Israelis. Like, that's kind of just the way the world works. But we move on. If you think that Israel should exist, you have declared yourself a supporter of settler colonial genocide, and thus an enemy of the good people in the world. Just like with an openly declared Nazi, all actions taken against you are permissible. Again, it's this, like, to think that Israel should exist, I think Israel should exist in a way different than it does now. If you think that that means that they should be, equivocated to a Nazi, then I feel like that's just like a complete just blowout. They still don't have a title or thumbnail. They're blue balling us. They're blue balling us today for real. Yeah, so civilians are all, I guess, should always be off limits, and the problem is too many militaries are just fine with basically like fucking carpet bombing anywhere, like, and like it's just fucked. Like the fact, like, and part of it comes from like there are military aims that you should have, and there are things that the military should be doing, but it also takes the soldiers and the, like, you know, the people that are like a slightly lower level to speak up and say, hey, this doesn't make sense, this doesn't work, we are your military force and we are against this. And like, if that is the case, but again, you can believe if it is or isn't, and I guess it just comes up to the stats that I don't know too much about. This says that they don't care that much, but again, I don't know where this is being pulled from. I live in a civilian community founded in 1951 within the internationally recognized and legal borders of the State of Israel. I am willing to give you my home for a peace agreement in the future, if it will be required, so Israel can keep actual settlements and do a land swap. You are a colonial settler living in a Nahal military settlement, 5 kilometers from a colonial frontier. You choose to live there in order to be a human shield for Israeli colonialism, just like the frontier settlement in the 19th century U.S. You got your wish. I hope you get it again. I just don't understand this, because this is what we need, is we need people who are willing to go, I am willing to take down the borders. I'm willing to, you know, whatever, and commune with these people that, you know, some are calling monsters. On both sides, they're being called monsters. And you need more people that are willing to commune and be like, you know, positive. And it does need to start with the civilians first, and the civilians being more vocal. That way they can show that, you know, they're not supporting these military aims. Because militarization is necessary, but it doesn't mean that you should, like, it's your end all be all, and you should use it in every case to defend. Israel tries to improve life in their Gaza concentration camps. You were 100% a valid target for Hamas when you say this shit. Hamas declared war after several years in which successive Israeli governments look for ways to improve the economic reality in Gaza. I mean, is this just a fact? He's talking a lot of shit to Amir Tibbin. But again, like, this is like the whole thing is we need peace to come, but peace has to come from both sides. And I don't think that we can get peace by saying that either side should be wholly destroyed. Like, Israel needs to exist, and the Palestinians need to exist, and they need a land that they can consider their home, whether it be the what, you know what I mean? Like, if people want to go back to the original borders, go back to this, we can do whatever. We could go back to the fucking what the Philistines had and give them, what did the Philistines have as part of Israel? Philistines, who lived up the coast of Canaan, the original Palestinians. What is modern day Gaza, and what else? It's fucking, what else was it? Whatever. I'm not going to get into this thing, but it's like, if we want to give them this, then let's give them this. If we want to give them other land, let's give them their land. But to say that either one should be wholly destroyed is what's going to keep the fighting happening forever. And I think that's like the major issue that people aren't going to ever look past, is that peace is the only way to make things work. See, the idea that they would live together in one state is fine. I understand that works as a concept, but it doesn't work when they have the like, when at least Hamas has the military, like, has the goal to destroy all Israelis. It's like, it's not gonna work out. And if we want to work towards a one state at some point, you know, eventually we want to be like the global elites. We want a one world government. You know what I mean? It's like, eventually the goal would be to have a unification across nations that, you know, keeps us all at peace and we don't have any wars. That is the goal eventually. But we need to start somewhere. And I think starting with a 2-state solution to give these people, like, you know, just a sense of peace at all is necessary. And then we can think about how we then implement them into the society, like, greater, and implement, you know, Israelis into Gaza, and move it all into a collective, if that's the end goal. God damn it, I have the hiccups now. Yeah, and it does just come down to semantics, and that is the issue, because we're never going to come to an agreement if everyone's arguing, is it a genocide? Is it apartheid? Can we not just all agree that it is probably its own wholly evil thing that we need to, you know, consider in its own historical relevance? Because that's the thing I keep trying to bring up, is that people want to call it a genocide or apartheid. Calling it these things is to equivocate it to them, when it can be its own bad thing. It can be evil on its own. It can be terrible and be wholly unjust. You know, it can be that without needing to claim that it is an apartheid or it is a genocide. Because in the same way that, you know, we might think that Ethan claiming certain things as anti-Semitism is going to lose certain people, it's going to lose people on the other side by saying that. It's like, it loses a large portion of the people that aren't already going to listen to you. And if all you're trying to do is fall upon, like, graceful ears, like, they're, you know, you're not going to, there's no point. But let's go Tel Aviv. Amazing. I see nothing wrong with dismembering, disgusting, occupying colonizer soldiers. Is that what this is? Is they're holding, like, dismembered body parts? See, that's fucked up. But again, I think that's just as fucked up as when there's that there was the guy holding up the baby's torso after the bombing happened. But I'm so confused. Is this from that? Because they look like they're celebrating here. I'm so confused. See, that's the thing, is regardless of if it's a 1-state or a 2-state solution, Hamas cannot be the government that is what brings them to it. You know what I mean? It's just not going to be what works. And the same, honestly, the same might go for Israel right now. We can probably say that's true too, that the government in the way that it is right now is never going to know peace. Both them and Hamas, both their governmental powers and their military forces are only going to fight. And they need to figure out ways to dismantle both of those so that we can come to some kind of agreement. I am going to join Hamas so that Israeli hostages fall in love with me and become my hijab friends. My jihad friends. My God. I used to listen to Andrew Jackson Jihad. I know the word. I was going to say hijab, but for some reason. This guy is going to make people fall in love with him. I just wanted to point it out again. This guy's about to woo some hostages, apparently. And see, and that is a fair claim. I would say that is a fair claim to say that because there was a nonviolent resistance before that was basically snuffed out, that of course they're going to have this regime that comes back violently. And I think that that's completely understandable and completely rational, but it doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do or the thing that should continue to happen, because it's like, two wrongs don't make a right, It's not gonna save anything by killing more people, and the only thing we can do is hope that what the whole thing is to push both the U.S. government and the Israeli government to figure out ways to mitigate their destruction that will, but still hold the Hamas, operations accountable when they're doing heinous activities. Should Hamas release the hostages? And his 18 fans said no. Not even all of them said no. Amazing. Should Hamas, I know it has 1.2k likes, but not everybody's voting, let's be honest. Should Hamas take more hostages? Yes, bro. Okay, and actually this one has more votes. Oh, I wasn't even looking at the votes. I'm stupid. How come people are so, they're going to vote for it, but they're not going to like it? What pussies. Cowards. I just don't use Twitter enough, and I didn't realize that's how the voting worked. Bro, you guys aren't even gonna like the thing you're voting on to be like, yes. Thanks. I try my best to be based. That's my. I want to be based and orange pilled, based and purple pilled. That's my goal. I don't care about an insufferable hippie trust funder who just had to go to rave outside a concentration camp. Hamas executed an innocent civilian I think that is a dead person. I should not show that. Hamas executed an innocent civilian at a music festival and paraded her mangled corpse through the streets for thugs to spit on. And depraved anti-Semitic freak Bad Empanada can only talk about how even recognizing this as a war crime is Israeli propaganda. I don't care about an insufferable hippie trust funder who just had to go to rave outside a concentration camp. This dude is honestly just fucking evil. Let's let me go like this so I can scroll past it real quick. Don't want to look at that. I don't know if she's dead in that image, but I do not want to look at that with you guys. Sorry if you saw that for a second. I still listen to AJJ. It's just like, I don't know. I haven't listened. I've found more folk punk, I guess. They've fallen on the back burner, but they're still in rotation. Again, we're only at 22. We're only at 22 of the 43. Is that what it was? 43. And this guy wants to act like he has a reputation to lose when he just blatantly talks like this all the time. Troop Exploder this is Bad Empanada. This must have been his original account or something. There will become a time when the collaborators who sold out their people for pitiful amounts of money and fame will get the justice they deserve. Western leftist, I support Palestine. Me, that's cool, I'm Palestinian. What are you doing to help Palestine, Western leftist? From the river to the sea, we are going to obliterate the Zionists. It is just... And this was the problem. Oh my God, and I hate to bring this up over and over again. This is the point that Hila and Ethan keep making. That you sitting in your bedroom complaining, and I don't mean you guys, I just mean in general. Sitting in your bedroom and bitching online is not activism. Even going out to a mini protest is like the smallest forms of activism that you can do in your daily life. Like, you can do a lot more than just fucking do this if you want to really support a cause. You can write letters to your local politicians, write them to federal politicians, write them to, you know what I mean? if they're getting overwhelming letters and people are sending them out and stuff, they're gonna have to at least talk about it, at least figure something out of all these people saying, I'm sending these letters out and I'm not hearing back. That would become like a news headline. But instead, people would rather be on Twitter fucking complaining and saying all Israelis should die instead. It's fucking weird. See, I will agree with that. It's not normal leftist talking points. It is, it's extremism. That's the thing. Bad Empanada is an extremist. Like donating is good. Writing letters is good. Sending, sending aid where you can. I guess that's just forms of donation, but you get what I'm saying. It's like there's more things that you can put your effort into. But annex. Oh my God, I don't know why I can't say this. Annexure 24. It is time for Hezbollah to bring an end to Zionism once and for all. Israelis know this. Your children will live to see the distinction between Israel and Palestine disappear. Your daughters will mix with Palestinian chads. They will be porked in every hole. Your sons also. Jewish, Arab sex orgies everywhere. This is just like, honestly, disrespectful to both the Israeli and Jewish people. And also, there can be Jewish Arabs, so I don't understand why he's making this distinction. Again, a weird, like, it's like a weird othering, where he wants to other the Jewish people so much. There are Jewish Arabs. They might enjoy orgies. I don't know. I'm not a part of them. See, but that's the thing, is he's not making them look bad. He's making them look exactly how they want to look, or else Hasan wouldn't platform him. Like, it's just so ridiculous that these people want to do these things and act like it's like justified. I just don't get it. Like, all the people that stand up for this stuff in their comment sections, it'll be like, oh, well, he's right. What are you talking about? You don't know any facts. This is a reply to something, but complete expulsion of Israelis is more popular among Palestinians than a binational state. Denying reality to post a single article as if it represents all Palestinians helps no one. Anti-Semitism among Palestinians is caused by Israel. Lying helps no one but your ego. Again, this one isn't necessarily... You could maybe say this. This isn't necessarily that as bad as the other ones. Complete expulsion of Israelis is probably... This part is where I'd want to see the data and the... All historical Palestine for the Palestinians from the river to the sea. That's what they're saying. I mean, if that's what they're wanting right now, then we need to figure it out. Because honestly, I think a lot of them might be saying that because they see Israel as a, and this is complete speculation, obviously, but with Israel as like a power overseeing them, why would they want a two-state solution? Like in that, like they're not going to see it in the same way that Israel does if they just go, okay, we accept it. Like there obviously needs to be concessions on both sides. Oh, they're starting at 3:30 now? What? Oh, 12:30. You scared me. You scared me so much. 3:30 your time. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's taking, you can be charitable about this take, but it doesn't mean that you would want, that it means that the expulsion of Israelis is what should happen, just because more of them believe it, even though it's only 47%, not even like an overwhelming percentage. Achieve a one-state solution. So a lot of them want a one-state solution, a two-state solution. And this would actually, wouldn't this imply that actually more of them want not from the river to the sea, right? Like, am I wrong about that? Wouldn't that be what that means? Is that more of them believe in either a two-state, a one-state, or moving towards a confederation with Jordan or Egypt, including Palestinian self-government? They believe that more than from the river to the sea? See, I'm never going to be charitable to Bad Empanada. I'm being charitable about this perspective because I've heard other people say it, and I think that it is true that some anti-Semitism has come from the ways that the Israeli government has, you know, impacted Gaza and the West Bank, just the Palestinians in general. So I understand the perspective, but he is not going to look at that from the right angle and just use it to be xenophobic and anti-Semitic to Israelis and Jewish people. Things Drew Pavlov won't forget. People mocking lip filler baboons saying all Palestinian children are terrorists who should die. Things Drew Pavlov will forget. The 10,000 dead Palestinian children killed by Israelis just like her. People mocking lip filler baboons saying, it's just like, why? Again, it's like, why negate from somebody's? Why not contest the arguments? No, exactly, yeah. It happens. It's blowback. I don't know if I can say that. Damn, I was about to say, I'll just say it. I was about to say Bad Empanada needs to blow the back of his head out, but in a video game and not in real life. I'm sorry, that was a bad joke, but for someone this fucking deplorable, like, come on, man. You don't need to kill yourself, but you need to maybe just leave the internet and write as many manifestos as you want and then read them to yourself over and over again. That'll be where you're the most happy. Barbaric subhuman animals raped perfect white woman with blonde hair, blue eyes, and faces of an angel who was white. What? Horrific news stories of Hamas raped an Israeli surface, including attack on woman with face of an angel who screamed to be killed. I mean, it is weird that they said that she has the face of an angel, but I mean, is she dead? And they didn't call them this is what I'm talking about, is why obfuscate? Why not just like be like, it's weird that they called, like they used face of an angel. Like why do they need to like prop them up? But if she's dead, then that's probably why. If she's a woman that died, yeah. Yeah, no wonder they called her an angel, because she was fucking murdered. See, there is probably colorism going on in Israel, but I think that we probably need to have there needs to be like Israelis talking about it. Because that would come from even Jewish, Israelis. That would come from, the Mizrahi and the Sephardic Jews or whatever. They would be like, oh, we are still getting, which some people do say that. They do say that they're not treated the same. They're treated like Arabs or whatever. They're treated differently. They said, because I forget who it was, but there's one person that Bad Empanada always quotes that said, here's the thing that I don't think, is he uses it as an excuse to say that she's saying, let me see if I can pull her up. Fuck. Palestinian. But basically he uses her to say that she was from Iraq. She was an Iraqi Jew that moved there as a child with her parents, and her parents at one point said that in Iraq they felt like Jews, but in Israel they felt like Arabs. And it's not to say that he uses it to say that they were siphoning away the Arab culture, that the like Arabic Jews, you just say Arab, it feels wrong to say that, but the Mizrahi and Sephardic Jews coming, the Iraqi Jews lost their culture. When in reality, what I feel like the father was saying was, even in this new land where we are supposed to be like the people of, we aren't like accepted still, which would bring into the question of like the colorism aspect, which I think is probably a valid complaint. Well, it's not. It wouldn't be colorism against Palestinians. Colorism would imply the difference in colors of their like. That would like for the Palestinians, I think it would just be like racism, right? It would either be racism, xenophobia, whatever. Algeria, where are your Jews is the dumbest talking point. The French turned Algerian Jews into collaborators. They were given French citizenship and special privileges and helped oppress other Algerians, so they were treated equally to other French upon Algeria's independence. Again, this one I don't know if this is just like a historical talking point. I don't know what the relevance of making this claim is, but okay. Because I think there probably is colorism, but then I think that probably goes beyond the Palestinians. So I think it would go even on to the different Jews that are living in Israel proper. And I mean Israel proper as in within the borders. Don't take me out of context. Because I would assume, I guess I'm not going to make the assumption. I don't know who are in the, occupied territories, what the racial makeup or whatever is. I don't know. But anyways, if I'm reading this right, so Hamas al-Aqsa flood operation, section 3, towards a transparent international investigation. Well, if I'm reading this right, Hamas is saying it will cooperate with an ICC investigation into its own October 7th assault, while also pushing for an investigation into allegations against Israel. The International Crime Court is the right venue for these charges to be tested. Hamas has always said it will cooperate with any international investigation provided Israel does too, long before October 7th. Some of these don't feel, I get that he's just like hammering it in that he is against Israel. But yeah, like I don't have the sources for these, so I'm like I don't really know. What's Noah doing? Noah Woa. Come on. But if Israel is abolishing, what will the Israelis do? Go and live in Perth like all the scumfuck Boers did after the end of apartheid? This is like, see, this is, again, some of these I feel like aren't necessarily as bad, but it's when we get to stuff like this, where he's saying completely destroy all of Israel, and what's so bad about it? All that's going to happen is that after the end of apartheid, it'll be a good thing. It'll be a good thing to completely overwhelm countries with immigrants too. Like that's also a good thing apparently. If anything, if you think like, I'm just gonna go into like what conspiracy theorists and people say is like if Israelis and Jewish people are like running the world, are doing such terrible things, why would you want to spread them across nations? It almost seems counterintuitive. I'm just saying that like the cognitive dissonance you must have. One thing out of context is it is interesting how many vegans there are in Israel. Apparently, they saw parallels between the Holocaust and factory farming. Oh, true. That is interesting, actually. I was confused as to what you meant by that for a second, but that is actually a very interesting fact. I've never heard that. Oh, is he just misquoting people? Should I stop him from chatting in here too? I just don't get if the quotes are so bad, just quote them for what they are. Just say the quote exactly as it's written and talk about how bad it is. Because if it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. It doesn't need to be changed and altered to prove your point more. No, that is crazy. Yeah, I've never heard that. But no, absolutely not. That would irradiate the land and make it uninhabitable, pretty much nullifying your ability to return. Just like with Japan, a nuclear bomb is needed to stop Israel. This person honestly makes a very good point. See, I haven't heard her story. I'll look into it. If it's the one, oh, if it's the one, okay. I do know what he's talking about now then. Okay. Bro. It's so weird. Why am I supporting a pro-Israel content creator? What kind of question is that? Do you want to watch the clip of her going on the raid to Ramallah where they literally talk about how it makes sense that the surrounding Palestinians probably hate the Israeli government because of it? How she felt like it was a weird situation and like, do you want me to pull up the clip? Because I literally I showed it earlier. You people are just like the same repetitive fucking talking points. It's weird. Plastic surgery isn't a trauma response. Okay, bro. Okay, yeah, these two losers, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not even gonna put you guys on timeout. Hide user on this channel. Have fun, guys. Keep watching. Keep watching and don't comment anything because you can't anymore. Isn't that fun? Plastic surgery isn't a trauma response. Bro, are you a trauma expert? Because I think people deal with trauma in different ways. Very weird. Yeah, they're so pro-Israel, except they've literally said that while living in Israel, they talked back against the government and talked back against the military. It's just so weird. These people that want to come in and just lie. Why lie? Again, if the points are so bad, just state them for as they are. It's so weird. If you know the real identity and details of Twitter user, please DM me. This is for legal action. Found. This blank second time, I don't know if this is the second time I have a beef with someone and they turn out to be a registered pedophile. Is he actually a pedophile? I want to know. Well, okay, they're just going off of when he wanted to jerk off to dead babies, yeah. I think that's a fair point to make. Self-proclaimed. I asked that in the beginning because literally Bizu, Alex, you don't understand. Bizu came back after Monday's stream, after a 2-hour stream, decided to come back today, this morning at 3 a.m. and comment on the stream. I replied to it. Then they waited. They were the first person waiting in my stream to try and talk shit about me. And it's like, we were having a good conversation on Monday, I felt like we were talking back and forth, but then they literally wanted to obfuscate the points that I made while giving timestamps. So I showed the timestamps that they gave. I showed it's like, why obfuscate if the points are already bad enough? If you think that they're wrong, just say them as they are and then argue why they're wrong. It's actually ridiculous. Like, just the way that they want to just play stupid. And I really do think it's because they get banned out of every other channel. So they're like, oh, I got to go look for a new one. They probably said that Hasan wasn't being too pro-Palestine one day and got kicked out of there too. Already found you. Are you threatening me? This will be fun. Do your best. To portray the other side charitably, they think Zionism is the problem. They want a one-state solution. The argument from them is that Israel is settler colonialist from the start, 1945 or around there. Some people are unnecessarily hostile. That's the thing, though, is like, if they really want to go back, it's like, yes, they were colonized. It was basically colonized by British mandate, sanctioned by the UN or whatever. And that was like the whole thing, is that they did go over, but they went over because of their historical like claim to the land. It depends on how much you want to say they have claim to what land, but there is like a historical relevance to Jews in the region, like even prior to World War II. So it's just like it is just so weird. Like they say it's nothing about nothing. They're saying nothing about nothing, because literally, what am I saying? Like, articulate why I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong. Stop just going, you're supporting Zionism. You're supporting Zionism by saying Israel needs to completely change the way its government is ran. And we need to, and then it probably needs to completely, redefine its whole like government like system. That's Zionist. Just because I think that Israelis, the same way that Palestinians should have a land for themselves, Israelis should have a land for themselves as well. I think a lot of snarkers are simply ignorant and parrot what they see said, anything actually, without actually knowing anything about anything. It's the truth. Sorry, I'm stammering. I'm getting all worked up. Delete your account or I post it all. Post it all! That's great. It's just, it's because it's regurgitation. It's so true. They say the same things over and over again, just like Trumpers, because, like you said, Kitten Pillar, it's just the parroting. They're regurgitating things they heard. None of it is actually like even coherent. It's the same as screaming you're Hamas and everyone's speaking. Yes, exactly. It's wrong on both ends. But I'd say the main issue is people like Ethan definitely denounce the Israeli government, but people like Hasan support Hamas. And people think that supporting Hamas is good, but not even support, but I don't even know what it is. It's just such like a weird cognitive dissonance. It's so weird. A and balls chat in chat. Amazing. Truly great chat today. LMAO, I shot my shot and just straight up lied to this guy and he deleted his account. Did you get blocked? I don't think he got blocked, but he got this guy with 600 followers to close his Twitter. Real based moment, bro. I have submitted aristocracy's name to my contacts in the Farsan al-Aqsad Palestinian group. She will soon be dealt with. The fuck? Nice Google image search. My phone line was cut years ago. He called him an R word, C word. That's pretty funny. You shouldn't be throwing around the R word, Drew. That's wrong. But that is pretty fucking hilarious, I have to say. I suggest you pipe down with the easily Googleable info in the future, as some of us are capable of finding more very easily, and the retaliation will be devastating to you. Australian passport number? Suck my cock. Public information, Drewy. Amazing. Yeah, that's the whole thing. The clip of Denim saying she's been nice to Hila, and that if Hila denounced Israel, she'd be flocked too. Has Hila not said that Israel is doing what Israel is doing is wrong? Yes, they have. They've called Netanyahu a war criminal. She even said in 2017, I just need to keep playing that clip like every time, because she literally says the only reason she has issues with the American views on like Israel-Palestine is because of all these fucking idiots. And I know he's Australian and lives in Argentina now, but it's because of all the people that propagate these type of messages that, oh, Israel's just a bunch of fucking baby killers that deserve to die and this and that. And that's literally what I talked about in the beginning when I was talking about the person who was commenting. Zionism means Israel should continue to occupy Palestine land and should remain an apartheid state. From the other point of view, so that is their argument when they say to be anti-Zionist. It's just funny because I've never said I'm a Zionist and I've never said I'm anti-Zionist, but what I'll say is that I am in support of Israel existing in a way that it doesn't exist now. And I don't understand how anyone had come in and said that that is being pro-Israel, that is being like being a Zionist. Because literally it's saying we should have a dismantling, but then a reintegration of the governmental system. I don't know if he'll talk about this doc today. This is new stuff. I hope he does, because this is important, but I'm glad we're going through it so we can see all the actual stuff. Because anti-Drew Pavlov campaign begins. We are launching, he did a soy jack of Drew. Bro, Drew's a Chad. You don't have to like him to think he's a real man. He looks like he could be related to he looks like a mix between SoFlo Antonio and fucking Ethan Bradbury. He's Ethan Bradbury, SoFlo Antonio coded. Real Chad. But we are launching concerted campaign to mass report Drew Pavlov until he is permanently suspended from Twitter. Search his tweets, report as many as possible. This campaign will only cease if Drew Pavlov converts to communism. People keep acting like this is so black and white, but obviously Ethan and Hila, who lived in Israel, having friends and family there, etc., are going to have a much more nuanced take. No, literally, because even if, when living in Israel, they think that the government's doing evil things, do you think people thinking the government's terrible? Like, it's like people living in America thinking America's terrible. The things we did to the Native Americans were fucking evil. The things that we are doing across the sea, like across, in the Middle East, just in different nations, are overreaching hand across nations is evil. America's terrible. But to say that it's like everybody in here is bad and we don't love the people and the nation that we have and we don't want to stay here, I would like to stay here. I don't want to just get fucking excised somewhere else, because I think that it should exist, but should probably stop doing all of the evil shit that it does. Like, you know what I mean? Sorry, I started rambling there for a second, but I brought it back. I caught it at the end. But here's 42 and 43, the last of it. So this is the last of what we have. Judicial Branch of the National Federal Civil and Commercial Chamber, Room 3. Pause in. Incident of recussion execution of in cars, Giantitis, the human STD, George. Angelos S. requests for citizenship letter. Court 11 Secretary, Buenos Aires, December 28th, 2021. The challenge for case of the JPT judge raised by the lawyer of the petitioner of Argentine citizenship, Dr. CDRP, on November 1st, 2021, and considered on November 1st, 2021, Mr. GAG, born in Australia. So his full name, which has now been doxed by I almost said Drew Afuelo, by Drew Pavlov. I almost said Drew Afuelo, but Drew Pavlov is doxing George Angelos Giantitis. It's Giantis if you want to look it up. I know I keep saying it like that, but... Oh no. Well, I'm glad you're in now. And remember to subscribe, like and subscribe if you haven't already, because I will be back every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, unless I have something that I'm doing. But then I will do something else. And you will understand. It's really nice to see my viewership go up so high. I'm so proud of myself, and I'm so honored to be in the grace of all of you. We're always going to get in a few knuckleheads, but I'm glad that you guys have come in and appreciate what I have to say, because I sometimes feel like a fucking idiot. I feel like I'm just making absolutely no sense. But you can hear my regurgitated points and tell me that I'm right. Let's feed the echo chamber. I'm kidding. But you are a generic white monkey who moved to an Asian country. You're an Australian who moved to Argentina. Like, you could literally, like, this is a terrible thing to say to someone, but literally just turn this to, like, it's just, why? You have so little talent. Or I guess I should read that. That's funny because I didn't make that claim. You pulled it out of thin air. I said that Vietnam today is pro-US, and the polling data proves it. The polling dating proves it. Ooh, polling dating. But you are a generic, I'm going to read it again. You are a generic white monkey who moved to an Asian country. You have so little talent and worth that you had to move somewhere where you thought essential traits would make you special. Your avatar is even just, look, I was on TV once for being American. Honestly, I didn't explain it that well. Drew Pavla is this guy. One sec. I don't know why he went out. He just went after him for talking shit, I guess. Drew Pavla. He's a very small creator. Drew Pavla is honestly a very small creator. But he's getting some hate. See, and I don't know all of his politics. Maybe he has some bad takes. I don't know. But if he's against Bad Empanada, then we can stand by you for now. But yeah, he talked to Pisco. Talked about Xi Jinping. Just another small creator that Bad Empanada is trying to flex his chest out. But this is just so funny because could you not say the exact same thing about Bad Empanada moving to Argentina? Like, you could make the same, like, absurdist claim that he just did it because his racist ideologies would be more accepted and that he wanted to be somewhere where, you know what I mean? Like, being like, oh, the Nazis will believe you there. And this, and like it's just so weird. Is Drew mean? Is he a mean guy? He talks a lot against China. I mean, is that what got Georgie Borgie pissed? Yeah. See, that's the thing, is I don't know too much about him. I've only really seen him in the context of tweets, and I think I watched like one video from him, so I didn't know that he's like an actual activist in Australia. But that makes sense. It sounds like Drew fucking scared off Bad Empanada. He scared him to Argentina. Another Australian? Who cares about what his beliefs are? This man fucking... Oh yeah, Bad Empanada is mean. Yeah, of course. I'm sure that it literally is just something so simple as him talking against communism, talking of, you know what I mean? Just something so fucking, like, ridiculously simple. And George is like, we need to fucking dox him. We need to dox him and sue him and fucking send things to his house. I'm not going to say what. Not going to say he ever did, but he would. Georgie Borgie definitely would. He essentially does not approve of CCP influence in Australia. That's his belief. Oh. Argentina is an incredibly progressive country. I can believe that, but isn't there literally a town full of Nazis? Nazis in Argentina. Like, not even saying all Argentinians, but when 300 Nazi fugitives fled to Argentina, including Eichmann and fucking Mengele, didn't Mengele only get caught, like, in his old age or some shit? Who was it that got caught in their old age? And then German population in Argentina. Argentina has 3.5, okay. It's German ancestry. It's 3.5 million people with German ancestry. And what's Argentina's population? 45 million. So that's a pretty good percentage. It's a pretty good percentage. Oh, Georgie. Like, that's a pretty fat percentage to be of German descent. I know they're not all of Nazi descent, but still. More than 300 Nazi fugitives fled to Argentina, including war criminals such as Erich Predke, Joseph Mengele, Edward Roschmann, Joseph Schwamberger, Walter Kutschmann, and Gestapo Colonel Adolf Eichmann. Did they all just get away? Did we only catch the soldiers? This also included members of the ultra-nationalist Ustasi regime from the independent state of Croatia, including its leader, Ante Pavelic. Interesting. Yeah. Here it was. It was Eichmann. It wasn't Mengele. Yeah, Eichmann was kidnapped in Argentina by the Mossad and brought to trial in Israel, where he was executed in 1962. At the time, Argentina condemned the Israeli government for abducting Eichmann, demanding he be returned to face arrest and extradition through the proper channels. This led to a diplomatic spat between the nations, which was solved amicably shortly afterwards. That's the thing, is like, Israel does do crazy shit. Like, people do fucking insane shit. No, and I'm pretty sure Mengele just lived and died and like had grandchildren and shit. See, I know about Operation Paperclip, and let me throw a little conspiracy theory your way, because everybody likes to talk about Operation Paperclip, in which the U.S. government took Nazi soldiers as, you know, in part into their military programs and their, you know, NASA and whatever. MK Ultra started like 5 years later, 5 years after Operation Paperclip. I think my presumption there is that the U.S. military, the U.S. government, started using Nazi like drug testing because they saw the different like things that the you know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, the Nazis were able to do all this meth and fucking stay up for hours and fight like crazy and do all this crazy. You know what I mean? So I could totally see the U.S. government implementing some of these thoughts into their programs that they then led to fucking MK Ultra and shit like that. It's terrible. And honestly, it's just fucked. Because honestly, it. America always supports fascists, literally every time except one. I mean, World War II was the war against fascism. That was the whole thing, and I guess we give that more. We give that more to Churchill. Like, Churchill's fat ass did it. I know I keep calling people fat. People keep getting mad at that. I'm not saying it because I think that they're deplorable because of their weight. I'm doing it because it's something that I can point out. Call me ugly. Call me stupid. Call me fat. It's all welcome. Just don't lie. Don't lie to me. Did we get a... Wait, let me see. Did we get a... Still nothing. Come on. Come on, guys. What's going on? But that is that. We can go back to Reddit for a minute here. Here's the thing. I don't think, like I'm saying, the same way that I would never say that all Israelis believe in killing babies, in the same way that I would not say all Palestinians are Hamas members. I would not say all Argentinians are Nazis. But I'm just pointing out the humor in the fact that he ran away from Australia to go to Argentina while holding all these anti-Zionist beliefs. They're probably talking about thumbnail and title. Anybody in chat? Wait, let's see. I was able to scope out some chats from Dan the other day, but it doesn't look like anything right now. Close this. The law is one thing, but the xenophobia in Argentina and is palpable, and it's anti-Semitism too. It's all just, I don't know. Everything that Bad Empanada does, I don't want to give him any, like, the same way that Bizu didn't want to give, oh wait, there's more. Didn't he say 43? We're not done yet. Oh, 43 pages, not 43 instances. Oh! Ooh, I hope Jeff is coming on. I hope Jeff comes on with Steiny and Steve. So Jeff and Steve can fucking dogpile Steiny. I just realized there's... I feel so dumb. I thought there was only 45 of these. There's 45 pages. I guess I'm going to keep going until the stream starts. I was going to look through the Reddit a little bit more, but I don't know if there's anything. Zach has a doppelganger magician. Let's see this first. This is important. What the fuck? It's like a mix between Zach and AB. Dude, he literally looks like Zach and AB combined. I'm so... When he did that face, that was like, is that not AB's face? At first, it looked like Zach with the eyebrows. I'm like actually mind blown at this. This is literally Lou. I'm going to go on his page. He's live right now. What a guy. I'm like actually in awe at this. I'm just like, I'm not going to look at it anymore. It's the certain angles that he hits. When he hits a certain angle, he looks exactly like AB. I don't know why they said Zach. Like from a certain angle, this dude looks exactly like AB. Yeah, put this under the Lou segment. Just throw it in. I'm like so intrigued. He gives Zach energy. He's entirely Zach coded while looking like AB. This is incredible. Like okay, he lost it. Here he looks more like me. Oh, he's got a pet rabbit. This is how we know this guy's a kind soul. I'm gonna get taken down because of that song. I'm glad I clicked that then. I'm glad I clicked onto the Reddit. As a Bleach fan, it's been no secret Ichigo's show Benkai looked like a swastika for well over a decade. Swastika break. This is when it turned into a swastika, right? So this is from 437, but didn't come into the anime until recently. true. I didn't even think about that part. If he has, yeah. As a magician, you kind of need to have a rabbit on hand. Traits from mom and dad. That did look like Andrew Tate for a second. Oh, it's Invincible. I know this guy.
Weighing in at 206 pounds, he hails from the Bronx. This is Tommy Invincible.
Tommy Invincible is pretty good. There's like nobody here. There were more people sitting down, but not really. My God. The one thing I thought about him when I first saw him though is, you know, he works at like some like warehouse or something. His tattoos are all hidden all day and he doesn't tell anybody, but he's like, I'm fucking invincible, man. You don't want to step to me. See, that's the thing is swastikas, yeah, they do have context around the world. That's fine. But to try and say that the connection is completely like devoid of reason, to say that you're talking about being against Israel while holding a swastika. Are you Hindu? Are you a Buddhist? Are you, what is it? Are you is it Jainism? It's so weird. We need to start a GoFundMe or something to raise money for Lena and her opponent if Ian doesn't let her out. And get Keemstar to get her on the next fight card elsewhere. Keemstar can have her with Sam Hyde. The whole... Isn't Aiden Ross doing one now? He's doing his own like MMA. I saw this little dude. He was a little person. He's a dwarf. I called him a little dude, not to be rude, but because he's a dude. But he fucking was like throwing elbows. He was beating the fuck out of this dude. It was pretty awesome. Don't take that the wrong way. That came out wrong. I was trying to think of the right thing to say. I was gonna just call him a dude, but he's a little person.
Dude, what's more, call it like I say it, dude. Somebody is gonna make there's gonna be like the Ethan Klein fucking hate video of Ethan Klein hate videos. I just can smell it coming. Like there is gonna be dude, I can smell it, bro. The water is fine. Something funny is gonna happen.
I'm sorry, is he a Ninja Turtle in this game? What game is he playing?
I can smell it, bro.
What fucking game is this? Interesting stuff indeed. I do want to keep going through these. We need to finish these. I don't think we're going to finish these because it's fucking 40 pages, but Jesus. I was wearing my Creator Clash 1. Oh my God. Why? God damn you, Summer. But I was wearing my Creator Clash 1 shirt when the Content Cop dropped. Now I'm so glad I didn't get tickets to Creator Clash 3. Did you rip it off like he did the Content Cop shirt? Were you like, ah, nah? Oh wow, we just jumped up in viewers. Welcome in, everybody. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. We are going to be doing this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. H3 waiting room, but we continue. Mr. Oreo really does have some good coverage on this. He knows what he's talking about. And all the videos that Papa Guts made of him making out with different people, beautiful stuff. So, Stalin is bad and Nazis is bad. How is this hard to understand? Stalin killed Nazis like your family, Estonian. Oh, is there supposed to be a comma here? Like your family, Estonian. Black Ops 6 you can play as fucking the Ninja Turtles? That's crazy. Stalin killed Nazis like your family, Estonian. But this doesn't make any sense because that's like saying... Does this mean you don't think Hitler was bad because
He was killing what were to become the Jews, or what to become the Israelis, the Jews. He was killing the Jews, what were to become the Israelis. Do you wish that he would have finished? Because you're saying Stalin killing Nazis is good, but you think Zionism is worse than it all. It's going to be such a flop. Creator Clash 3 is going to be a flop, not just because of this, but because there's a UFC event and Jake Paul's event the same night. Not even like the same weekend. It's like the same night they're happening. So it's like literally just going to completely fall apart. And I don't know how they think that it won't, honestly. It was awesome when the USSR drove your Nazi grandparents into the forest, and I'm happy that you still seethe about it today. Where that empire at? I liked Indians a lot more before I realized that behind the kind veneer, like 80% of those who speak English and have the money to travel are straight up fascists. The Indians are fascists now. Interesting. I'm not going to post your home address or phone number, Drew, but maybe the people who keep sending them to me will. George Angelos Genitis, Bad Empanada, is now messaging me personally to threaten to post my home address and sue me for defamation. I know where you live. You live in Buenos Aires. My knowledge of you is a whole lot more specific than that, Drew. You aren't very good at OPSEC. He really thinks that, like, when he's going and like looking at fucking Yellow Pages, when he's looking at the Yellow Pages website, he really thinks he's doing like some deep fucking FBI work. He's like, we've caught him. We figured it out. He's such a clown. Today, I was consulted by the Central Operations Committee of Fursan al-Aqsa. They asked for a list of Zionist targets for operations this month. Here's the list I gave them, which was approved. Vosh, Lonerbox. Vosh is on the hit list? Interesting. Aristocracy, ContraPoints, Dylan Burns, and Mr. Beast? Okay. Interesting. I'm interested both in embarrassing you live and also giving you the Chairman Gonzalo special. Who's Chairman Gonzalo? Is he someone that got killed? Gonzalo. What's his death? Or is he just saying maybe his treatment of other... Okay, maybe I misinterpreted this. The vague posting gets me. Just say what you mean. At least we know he's the worst empanada, you know what I mean? We know all other empanadas are good because he is the bad one. That's the thing. Should Drew Pavlov's children be pressed into janissary duty? That feeling when a prominent Twitch leftist streamer, BreadTuber, tries to farm content by sending me messages encouraging suicide and suggests his followers do the same. Do you, I guess. I don't think that particularly conducive to real revolutionary action. But what do I know? You're damn right I did. Fascist stormtrooper, submit yourself to the justice of your victims, coward. You're damn right I did, fascist. Oh my God. You're damn right I did, fascist stormtrooper. Submit yourself to the justice of your victims, coward. Does he just send these to people all day? Like, does he just sit here all day just messaging people going like, oh, you fucking murderer, you disgusting killer, submit yourself for trial before your families are harmed. Lying piece of shit about making amends, cowardly mass murderer for white supremacy. I hope you have PTSD and every day your victims haunt you. It's just a tiny bit of what you deserve. It's just insanity. Like, this is actually like the messages of a deranged person. Will Stancil loves it when Israel blows up children in Gaza because he is a pedophile and necrophiliac. You're literally the one who said that you wanted to jerk off to dead children. He's the only one that thinks about like anything sexual and blowing up children. He's the only one that's ever put these fucking ideas together. This is insane. I think this is his real job. I think that he is really like 100% committed to doing this, and that is crazy. Wild work. The reason you support Israel's massacre of children in Gaza is because you are a necrophiliac pedophile. You are literally a pedophile. You spend all of your days masturbating to anime porn of children of dubious age. Bro's projecting right now. You just convince yourself you're not a pedo because it's cartoons. You are a fan of Keffels, who is a rapist, sexual abuser, and a pedophile. Bro, talk about defamation. This guy is fucking, like, literally a lunatic. No, literally, every accusation that he's making is just him confessing to another, like, level of his own depravity. It's so weird. Because even if he's not doing it, for some reason, those are the thoughts that are coming to his mind, is that he sees these people getting blown up and he goes, oh, I bet people love jerking off to this. That's weird. You're a freak. You're actually a freak. Not surprised you hide in Argentina like a coward. It's the Nazi way. You are literally a pedophile. You spend all of your days masturbating to anime. Okay, that's the thing. That's funny. I just love that that's his response, being like, you're a pussy, you hide in Argentina, you ran away from people that are trying to, like, you know, that are trying to come at you, and he's like, oh, you're a pedophile. How late will we be today? Oh my god. We're already 30 minutes, so I was assuming it would just start. Let me put up the poll. How late will the H3 show start today? Question mark. Will it be 5 minutes? Will it be 15 minutes? Will it be we'll say 20 minutes. We're gonna go close intervals in this one. Or 30 minutes. Will we literally start at 1? That would be insane. I'm not going to do 5. We'll do 10, 15, 20, and 30. That's what we'll do. How late will the H3 show start today? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes? Make your guesses now. Sorry, I'm in their time zone, so I see that it's 12:30 for the time zone that they're doing it from. But that's why we do it in minutes. Thinking before 30, okay. I know they're already at 30, but we're saying from when they put this up. We're saying from when this is saying. This said 12:30, so it's either 10, 15, 20, or 30 minutes from 12:30. I was hoping they would have just started, but crazy stuff. Why are you so afraid to defend the false claims you make in any environment where you have to actually respond to people debunking you? Or why do you look like a kid? Hey, why do you rape kids? I'm assuming these are probably messages sent straight to Drew. Actually, just why? Oh no, okay, these are sent to this guy, Will Stancil. It's neat how this guy just explicitly confessing the elements of a defamation claim to me. A lawyer. It's coming. He's going to make a website saying this guy assaults children. Your support for exploded babies has consequences. You think raping Israeli hostages is funny, don't you, George? At Bad Empanada. I think your obsession with bringing up rape... Okay, Drew actually set these up in such like an amazing way. I think your obsession with bringing up rape where no one has mentioned it says something about your own past. Just look at all these again. Say, oh, look at all these ones. It's like he's just fucking actually brain rotted. His brain is actually the size of a fucking peanut. It's insane. Didn't Drew Pavlov raped a child once? At Drew Pavlov? Question mark? Trying to spread it. I bet you this is his lolly account. This is where he likes all the lolly that he can't like on his main. It's where he does all his reposting. It's an assumption. I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't put it past him. Will Stancil loves it when Israel blows up children in Gaza because he is a pedophile necrophiliac. The highest standard of proof possible. Anonymous WhatsApp messages reposted by an Australian communist who has spent the past 2 months denying Hamas atrocities. More horrid reports coming from the mass rape of IDF soldiers in Gaza. From a fucking WhatsApp. What the fuck? Breaking video footage too horrid to make public shows 5 IDF soldiers raping a little girl to death in North Gaza. This is such an insane claim. Because if that's true, this is fucking insane. But also, wouldn't, like, the footage wouldn't become public, but it would definitely become a story in, like, major headlines. Because where is this footage? Who has this footage? What about the Noah retraction? Last Monday was the date before. Oh, did Noah ever post anything? Noah Samson? Noah Samson. Oh, nope. He just did it's happening today, and it's happening a couple days ago. But he was talking about more. He was honestly, this video is him kind of doubling down. I'm not going to lie. He just keeps talking about Palestine and Israel, and it's like, obviously there's issues to talk about, but there's claims that you made that need to be addressed that have nothing to do with the actual conflict. No, yeah, and also, this message is coming in like this. He probably did send this message, right? If it's on this side. I don't use WhatsApp. My God. I'm not even going to read this just because it's fucking so... Yeah, bro's insane. He's not even bro. He's little dude. No, because little dude was the other guy. He's little dude. This guy is... fuck, Bad Empanada is just evil shit. I don't know. There's nothing to call him. Noah looks like a claymation figure. I've been saying this about a few people. Noah does look like, and this is true about fuck, who was it? There was someone else. It's like when you have a create a character and you decide to not change any features. You just take the preset. You're like, that's good enough. Like, he's very generic looking, and he doesn't have like here's the what makes me think he's a sociopath. Where are his smile lines? Where are his, like, frown lines? He has a couple. He has no smile lines anywhere. This is something to think about. If someone isn't showing any noticeable signs of happiness or distress, what does it mean? I don't know about so they're exploiting the whole situation for money. Yeah, I think that because I wouldn't say they exploit it for money, I guess. They definitely believe in these things and see it as an avenue to make money. It's like, oh, I want to talk about politics. I want to talk about these things. I'm going to exacerbate and, hyperbolize these things that are happening. His face is the shape of normal SpongeBob. His haircut did make his head look long because it's like the bangs come over. Thinking about the time Bad Empanada called me a danger to children for liking Vosh, and then doubled down when he heard I was a CSA survivor by saying technically victims of abuse are more likely to be abusers. But Noah Samson is right. Us Vosh fans are way more toxic. I don't know. Vosh did like a little bit of some horsey stuff. He did like a little lolly horse stuff. Well, I don't think they have to know a lot about it to think that they care about it. You know what I mean? I think that they genuinely believe that they're doing, you know what I mean? I don't think there are many people in the world that are purposefully doing the wrong thing. You know what I mean? Like are purposefully trying to harm people or purposefully trying to do things unjustifiably. He thinks that he's completely justified in everything that he's doing. He thinks that everything that he says, everything that he does is true and is right because he's deranged. And I think like that's like the point where it's not about being charitable anymore. It's about just understanding that he thinks that these things are 100% true and will make up lies to like help purport them because there are facts, like there are facts there, is what he would say. Oh, all these guys that don't talk about politics, yeah, they're doing it for money, yeah. I can agree with you on that, yeah. Like, I wouldn't say I'm doing it for money because I'm not getting paid. But am I doing it for the social interaction? Perhaps. But I genuinely care about this, and that's why I'm giving genuine perspectives rather than just morally grandstanding. Because I wouldn't talk about this if I didn't actually, care about it. That's why I started talking about the H3 podcast in general, because I like the show, and I've always liked the show. So it's like, if there was an issue with it, I'll talk about that. If there's things that I like, I'm going to talk about that. But this seems very pressing. That's what I'm saying, yeah, is they feel strongly about it. And I think then they're willing to like look past other moral like points that, you know what I mean? Like other like ethical statements that they've derived in their heads and just go, oh yeah, whatever, it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. Those things don't matter because of this greater cause. We're 10 minutes late already. We really are. Hasan and Idubbbz caught in 4K featuring historic cope. I don't see Steve Will Do It, Steiny, or Jeff in the title or the thumbnail. I'm pissed. I'm just kidding. 4K Ultra HD. Ethan Klein. I think Ethan probably asked them to. This is funny. This is from. I was trying to pull pictures of Ethan that are newer, and it's hard because he's constantly in motion. Not just because of his Tourette's, but he's just constantly moving when he's talking. But this is definitely just a cut from like a frame from either a video or the stream. Yeah, see, that too. We're not getting any Noah Samson update. We're not getting any Jeff update. It's almost like he's doing this for the clicks. I'm just kidding. Obviously, he's doing this for the clicks. I imagine they're probably all going to talk. They're going to talk about all that stuff. But this is definitely just to get people in because everybody wants to know about what's going on with Hasan, with Idubbbz. What's going on? But the bad empanada stuff, the fucking Drew Pavlov, the Ryan Kavanaugh stuff still going on. We are literally in the middle of like so many crossfires. It's incredible. Like it's actually astounding. And I just don't. I need a Maid update. I do too. I need a Maid update. I need a Kavanaugh update. I need a Jeff update. What is going on? Make the stream, start making the podcast 10 hours long. Make it an 8-hour, like Hasan's live stream. That way we know everything. I want Steiny and Jeff too. Even if Steve doesn't come, Steiny would be a good person to have on. He's what we need. But we're almost done here. So investigating some precedents. Townsville woman orders to pay $280,000 for defamatory Facebook post about neighbors after she falsely branded her neighbors pedophiles on Facebook. You literally are doing this all the time. Amazing. Drew Pavlov's family was involved in a pyramid scheme in which they were curiously the only ones to come out ahead in every way, while nearly everyone else involved lost massive amounts of money. Even if that's true, cool. I keep wanting to call him Drew Afuelo. Drew Pavlov, maybe he's a piece of shit whose family ran a pyramid scheme, but also that doesn't have to do with him necessarily if it's a family. But even if he is, even if he was the top of the top guy, does this negate from any of the things that were said about you? Just saying this guy is bad, don't believe anything he says, doesn't work. Not literally. Olivia, Lord of the Rings, were kind of just screwed out on that. They were talking about it like it was going to happen. We're like, what about Jeff? What about Steiny? What about the Ren Fair? What's going on? Anyone who is claiming the right to land because they think there is the exact same people as a group of people from 3,000 years ago is a laughable idiot. What? Why not just say, wait, what? Why not just say that God isn't real? It's stupid to think that it's like justifiable to think that it was. But like, I'm just so confused by this because he's trying to argue against this. There is like a genetic difference in the DNA in like Jewish people. Oh, they started. We've gone live. We live. Well, thank you everybody that stopped in. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Go check out the podcast because it's time. But thank you all for stopping in. This is Captain Quasar signing off.